do our good batting.
Changes to the playing 11.
We bring Sitcharam into the team, and then Ayush comes into the team. He's a young guy as well, and Zain Raza is a fast bowler, under 19 guy as well. So that's the change for today.
Best of luck for the game, Shiraz.
Thank you so much.
हाफिज भाई अनफॉर्चुनेटली फिर से टॉस हार गए. इस दफ़ा आप लोगों की बैटिंग पहले आ गई, टॉस जीते तो क्या करते?
जी एक्चुअली बॉलिंग करते हैं हम लोग, लाजम बॉलिंग करते हैं क्योंकि ड्यू फैक्टर रहता है तो उसमें चेज़ करना इजी होता है.
2 मैच हुए, 2 हार गए हैं, लेकिन बैटिंग अभी भी फॉर्म में है. हाफिज कलीम के अभी तक हमने जलवे नहीं देखे.
जी मैं थोड़ा नीचे खेल रहा हूँ तो वैसे टच में नहीं है, तो इंशाल्लाह कोशिश करता हूँ ऊपर आने की. तो दूसरा आज अच्छा टारगेट सेट करेंगे ताकि बाद में इजी पकड़ सकें.
टीम में तब्दीलियाँ?
टीम में अब्दुल मालिक ने किया.
ज़बरदस्त टीम और अब्दुल मालिक एक और बेहतरीन बॉलर. बेस्ट ऑफ लक फॉर द गेम हाफिज भाई.
थैंक यू.
Right then, news from the centre is that Footprint Defenders Cricket Academy have won the toss and they've elected to have a bowl. Let's head to the comm box.
That is what it is then. From down there, Ahmed Khaja telling us that the Footprint Defenders have won the toss and will bowl first and look to defend. Gallion Cricket Club putting up a big score. Abid Ibrahim joins me. Good evening to you.
Good evening, Samir. Glad to be with you here. The Footprint Defenders having their 11. It's Shiraz Sarfaraz, Santosh Roy, Ahmed Zahoor Khan, Mushtaq Ali Khan, Hussain Ali, Salman Hashim, Midhun, Madhusudan, Shahzeb Alam, Zain Raza, Ayush Roy, Sittur Ratnam. Completes 11 for Footprint Defenders.
Gallion, on the other hand, led by the good old name Muhammad Hafiz Kaleem. And of course, some big names in there. Israr Ahmed and Amjad Gul in the previous match. A very good partnership between those two. They were struggling at one point. 28 for 5 took their team to a very respectable total of 191 after that. And of course, there is Saifullah Noor, the left armer, Abdul Malik and Usman Khan and Rehan Shah who will build up that Gallion Cricket Club, who will be batting first here at the ICC Academy Oval 2.
Yeah, they did not win the toss, but I think they were also looking to bowl first because we have seen over the few days that the overcast conditions, not overcast, pardon me, the dew plays a huge role. The outfield gets wet a lot, difficult for the spinners to grip the ball. The ball gets soft and easy for the batter coming nicely onto that, and the seamers also find themselves in a bit of a bother when bowling second. So it is what now the captains who called out to bowl first, and then he would have choose to do that one. But now coming into the action, the two umpires, the officials are at the centre and striping in as 2 openers for Gallion Cricket Club.
Yeah, it's an absolute no-brainer, isn't it, to bowl first on this wicket. We've seen how many times fast bowlers that bowl first get good movement and bounce from this track at the ICC Academy Oval 2. It's a good wicket here. It's got something for everyone in it. Bowlers, batters, they all get into the game at some point. And obviously, every captain will want to bowl first here, make use of those early assistance that you get off the pitch. And then, of course, it's also a matter to remember that there's dew in the evening. It's much more difficult to grip the ball. Just like you said, it's a no-brainer really to bowl first. Try and restrict the batting team to a score that you think you can go on to defend.
Yeah, also there's no breeze, no wind blowing across the ground, so definitely we are ensure that there will be a dew factor. So the more important is those first 6 overs for both the sides. If you are a batting side, you'll be looking to score 45 to 50 runs without losing any wicket in first 6 overs, especially when Usman Khan is in. He's a power hitter, very, very talented batsman. And alongside him is a wicket keeper, Shafir Tariq. So both are natural hitter of the ball. They likes to hit the ball hard, and this man particularly loves to do that. Went on, represented Quetta Gladiators in PSL. Big name.
Yeah, generally Khans are a big name around here. We've seen the other day how Hamid Khan and Asif Khan went about absolutely destroying the bowlers. And today it's another Khan who will be on the crease for the Footprint Defenders, who will be batting first here. Gallion will look to try and see if they can restrict this team to as less as possible. Obviously, a no-brainer to start off with a fast bowler. We're looking to get that usual wave movement that right-handers do get against right-hand batters. We're all set for ball 1 here for the Arabian Cricket League.
We're just waiting for the clock to hit 9, and we are on it now. Usman Khan will be facing first ball. There you go. Nicely, gently played with the soft hands, and dot ball to start.
Yeah, it's quite tempting for any fast bowler to drag back the length when it's a fresh new wicket. You want to try and get that bounce, see how much movement you get. And it's always that first over that's a bit nervous, and it sets the tone for any fast bowler. If you've bowled a good first over, you've got that control of the new white ball, generally your spell ends up going well. But if you've had trouble in the first over, you don't find that rhythm coming in, then we've seen how fast bowlers struggle to then get back in rhythm. Because in T20, all you get is 4 overs. You have very less time to warm up and settle down. So your pre-match warm-up matters quite a lot.
Yeah, it just looked at 4 overs, but they put a lot of effort on that. Oh, slow bouncer. They're asking the umpire, desperately asking for this wicket. And now Usman is asking the other way around whether it was one of the over or not.
Yeah, that went slower to him than he thought. He played too early, I thought. Look at that. Beat him. The keeper was convinced there was some glove in it. In fact, the captain, Siraj Sarfaraz, came running in from extra cover, pleading from the umpire. I'm sure he must have heard something. The umpire didn't budge.
And it's a funny game, isn't it, Samir? That at times you see a fielder standing at the fine leg would be shouting for the leg before. Yeah, I don't understand from the square of the wicket wood how you can predict.
A little bit of movement, a little bit of shape away, but he want to be pitching. He want to be pitching it in a much better length there. I mean, this is what we're taught since we're kids. You know, when we play cricket, if it hits the pads, appeal. just appeal. You never know. Luck goes your way sometimes, and a wicket in any way it comes, as long as you get them, that's all that matters. Cut away this time, straight to the fielder, although I think it was Hafiz Khalil. Who was it over there? Didn't pick it up too cleanly. And because of that, Gallion get their first runs on the board.
Yeah, it not came quite convincing. That was a dot ball supposed to be, but a little bit sloppy piece of fielding there, allowing batters to cross. So yes, it's all about chipping in, Shamir. When you're shouting, you need to shout together just to create that pressure on the umpire. And just imagine how much the pressure is on the umpire when all 11 players are shouting and crying for that.
It's always an underrated job, isn't it, umpiring? You're always under the pump. Players aren't happy with you. Viewers aren't happy with you.
Thankless job.
Outside edge, that's the rest away to the boundary. So the captain of Footprint Defenders not choosing to have a slip has cost him a boundary early on in the game.
Safir Tariq gets off the mark. That all counts. Yo, that was easy catch for the first slip. You should have the first slip on when you are bowling with a seamer who swings the ball away, and it's a new, fresh, white cherry in the bowler's hand. Yes, definitely there'll be a movement.
Quite baffling, honestly. It's surprising. I mean, none of us picked that up, that there's no slips for a new bowler. Now that we speak. In fact, it's not even a slip. Yes, it is a slip position. Now a slip comes in, but will it be too late though? He's standing far behind the keeper. Not a regulation slip position. Although it is first slip, but it's very much far behind the keeper.
He's just getting closer to the keeper. On this time, maybe. Yeah, a good ball to end the over. Very decent over this is. 5 for none at the end of first.
Ahmad Zahoor Khan will take the new ball alongside Mushtaq Ali Khan. So another Khan on display here. He'll be bowling to Usman Khan. So Khan to Khan here at the ICC Academy Oval. A young chap, this Zahoor, will looking to make an impression here.
No matter how young you are. Doesn't really matter how young you are when you are Khan. If you remember 16-year-old boy. Oh, cracker, beautiful. Played with some authority, gets the boundary.
A real loosener there from Zahoor Khan. Easy pickings for the batter. Loosen outside the off stump. Gentle pace, not much movement. All Usman Khan had to do was make sure he placed that. And he placed that to absolute perfection in the gap for a 4.
That's a risky move to offer width to this man. He'll simply do his placement. He's master at finding the gaps. Very strong down the ground as well. You let him settle, you will regret, I tell you.
Early on in his over, Ahmad Zahoor Khan, the youngster, has been put under pressure. Now his temperament will be on display here. How well he comes back. Whether he can find that good length that he's looking for. Again outside the off stump and again in the gap. This time much squarer. But the result is the same, another boundary. So these are freebies being offered by Ahmad Zahoor Khan. Not what his captain would have wanted from him.
Well, I reckon that somebody should walk to him and tell him that you're offering width and making life easier for the batter. All he need to do is a placement. It's a lightning out field here at ICC Cricket Academy Oval 2. And also that the ground, if you see, it's on the decline. So ball gets further quick when it goes towards the boundary line.
2 4s in his over now. Already under pressure, the youngster. Usman Khan looks in the mood today. This time he's decided to pull it. It was outside the off stump. There was width offered again, but Usman Khan doesn't mind. He decides, well, I'm going to play it on the leg side, and he does that with relative ease. So 3 boundaries now on the trot. Zahoor Khan isn't looking like himself today.
Oh, really? That's pressure on the young man. And one Khan is destroying the other. We've been talking about Khans. Well, it was back in 1996, there was a certain player called Shahid Khan Afridi. And he was playing, I think, Samir Cup. Yeah, that was on your name, my friend. And he started his first inning. And look at those old shots that he played. And I think that was supposed to be stopped, but the fielder not risking his hands. So it was Kenya where they played. And the world got a shock the next day when they saw on the paper 16-year-old. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, that's much better, isn't it? Present in the full face of the bat. Straighter line from Zahoor Khan, and this time he almost prizes out a dot ball. Something that's goal currency for him right now. They've changed the field. They've dropped down a deep square leg. They did get tempted to have a deep extra cover to offer him that protection, but the captain trusting his bowler to get his line right, which is very good to see. There's a long on and a deep square leg. Oh, that's going to be a big appeal, and the umpire nods his head, except he nods it in the negative, not in the positive.
Well, that would have been a huge moment in this young man's record to get Usman Khan out. Yeah, that was zipping in. Yeah, that was going down the leg side, but all he's eyeing is to get some confidence. You made that hit the pad. So yes, there is a movement, and this boy can put his effect now. 2 back-to-back dot balls. A very positive sign.
Might just be called a wide. No, it's not. So by being a bit lenient there on the youngster. So good comeback from him after getting hit for 3 boundaries. He derives 3 dot balls, 2 overs done, 17 for none. Some big names in that lineup of Gallions. Muhammad Kaleem, Israr Ahmed, Amjad Ali the other day, Amjad Gul in fact the other day, played a blinder of an innings. His team was down for 28 for 5 at one point, and they still ended up making 191 against the Indo Giants. They lost that game though. It was a superb rearguard action between Israr and Amjad. But there'll be hope in the top order of Gallion that those two don't have to come into the game too much today. Mushtaq is back. That's been pulled. There is a fielder there. Attempted a single. The non-striker was adamant to cross over, but they don't get one.
That's not the usual side where you see the keepers are not up for the run. Safir Tariq being a wicket keeper, he should be the one who is asking for that run, but it's the other way around. Usman Khan, mind you, he's also a wicket keeper. So yes, 2 wicket keepers batting together, I think the understanding should be really better.
Yeah, it was the non-striker's call, but it was a good call from the striker to not go for that run.
That was never a shot to be pulled from outside off to the onside. That was supposed to be placed because there was enough width. You could have got a boundary or at least glided to the third man on a single.
Safir, 4 of 4 for him. It's not been as flashy as Usman Khan maybe. These bowlers here, Mushtaq and Zahoor, haven't been at their best. Yeah, that's a much better line. That's where you want to be to new batters. You don't want to give them room. You want to don't want to spray down the leg side and offer freebies. That's where you need to keep bowling, and you might not get too much movement, or you might not have express space. But if you're bowling that probing length and making the batter manufacture shots for runs, that's when you prize out mistakes, and that picks you off wickets.
Very well said, Samir. There is a certain line which troubles any batter in the world. Being any wicket, you need to pick up that line and gauge where my ball is taking enough bounce. It all depends on the calculation upon your height, upon your action, upon your jump. There is a lot of science behind it.
Speaking of jump and action, didn't get it right over there. Mushtaq Khan will want to go back. And it's the conditions as well. When you bowl that first ball or maybe the first 3 balls, it sort of gives you an indication of how this wicket is behaving. Like you said, how much bounce there is on this, whether he's getting enough movement, is it zipping around. And once you figure that out, then a smart bowler generally knows what his go-to length is. Again, pulls that out. So not really being in rhythm here. We spoke about how rhythm is important at the beginning of his first over, Mushtaq's. He seems to have lost it a bit here. I'm not sure if it's a run-up or his delivery stride that's troubling him.
Yeah, what I think is that jump is bothering him maybe because he's not able to just jump and feels insecure while landing. As we see, the ground is already a little bit of wet. Yeah, he got it right this time. Straight to the captain.
It was well driven by Usman, although it went straight to the fielder there. Shiraz Sarfaraz, the captain. 18 for none. This isn't a runaway start from the batters here. Although GCC haven't bowled the best lines, they haven't been punished yet, so to say.
But I think GCC would be slightly happy with the start, what they got. All courtesy that Zahoor going for. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, elegant. What a shot. Now that is something treat to watch.
Very rarely do you see textbook shots in T20 cricket, but that was one that you can savor. Very nicely played. Almost leaned into it, got that front foot forward on time, and the bat swing was just beautiful to watch. And most importantly, it was in the gap, unlike the previous delivery. So Usman Khan is looking really good here this evening, and he's the kind of batter, if you allow him to settle down, he's going to have a long night, and he's going to make you remember this night for a while.
Watching him play. Oh, another beautiful shot, but straight to the fielder. This time couldn't time it so well. So end of 3 overs, 22 for none, GCC.
22 for none in 3 overs. Hussain Ali is introduced into the attack. Went for a few the other day. He might want to make amends here. One of those bowlers that you see wears specs when bowling. I always find it very interesting. It's very difficult thing to do, running in with your specs on. Maybe he's used to it.
Yeah, a challenge for the fast bowler, especially when they are playing, or maybe that you see that bandana on his head is probably to hold the specs tight there. I can't recall any international bowler who wears the specs and bowl the fast, at least not in my era.
Again width offered, but this time even Safir decided to let it go because it was very wide. And this was their problem even in the earlier game. Footprint defenders, they offered way too many loose deliveries and ended up going for a few. This time also their fast bowlers not really setting the tone here. Yes, GCC have only scored 23 in 3 overs, but the way they are bowling is worrying because a good batter is not going to miss out on freebies like that.
I think over here Gallion Cricket Club is taking a little bit of an extra precaution because they lost the last game. They can't afford to lose any more. So that's the reason maybe they're not going hard on every delivery, despite the bowlers are offering width.
Again, it's been pulled away from outside the off stump. Just be a single. So Safir Tariq Usman Khan looks the kind of player. In fact, that was Safir Tariq. Apologies there. He looks the kind of player who he prefers the onside. Unlike Usman, we've seen Usman play some nice looking drives on the offside, but Safir is a more leg side kind of player from what we've seen so far. Usman there practicing his drives on the offside. Clearly, he's seen that the bowlers offer quite a bit of width here, and one way to make use of it is to pepper that offside. Field is still up though. We'll be looking for those gaps. If he does see width, there is deep square leg. The fine leg comes up now, and mid-off has been dropped down to the long off position. Width offered again in the gap, and that'll run away to the boundary. You can't be bowling there with your field up on the offside. These are actual gifts being offered by Hussain Ali.
Well, really asking for punishment. No sense of putting the third up and bowling out wide outside off. You really were not been taking the field placement on you where you want. You need to have a plan, and I think Hussain is pretty young, so that barring that he'll learn from here moving forward. These are the mistakes where you learn, and these are the stage and the platform provided.
For any new ball bowler, Abid, the most important thing is control. Whether it be a spinner or a fast bowler, if you're bowling with a new ball, it's a very difficult art to get control and get it land on the right spot. Yeah, that's much nicer, much better. That's the length you want to be on. And Usman Khan obviously recognizing that, playing the safe shot there. And again, like I said earlier, you don't have to have extra space to trouble the batter. If you can just be there, nip it around on that off stump line, you're going to trouble even the best batters in the world.
Well, in an agreement with you, though be a spinner or the fast bowler, it's a crucial part when you need to control the ball, and controlling meaning the swing comes in as well. For the fast bowler, the big challenge is to control the swing. And like a beautiful shot on the onside, and a great field work there.
These slides are easy to come by here at the ICC Academy Ovals because it's generally wet with that dew, but still a good piece of fielding there. It was nicely played by Usman. Didn't try to hit it too hard, just glided it down his pads, beating the fielder at fine leg, got a couple of runs there. Hussain has been on the two sides of the wicket, a couple of deliveries on the offside, one spraying down leg. He'll have to be more consistent, wicket to wicket.
Bowling full, and nobody is at the covers to stop that one. That will go just between the two fielders. What a great shot.
Usman Khan might as well bring some lawyer and buy some real estate on the offside. He's absolutely owned it tonight.
Look at that. Very big efforts from the fielders, but just could not stop the ball. And that's just sparkling, going right between the two fielders, teasing them outside off. And I think it's maybe a high time. When we saw the first over was bowled by Mushtaq, he tried to bowl the shorter one, where we saw Mushtaq getting a little uncomfortable there. Since then, nobody tried that. Pull your fine leg back and try with some short stuff.
These are two young fast bowlers in operation. Want to be safe. Let's see what this last ball holds for him. Yeah, and that's another edge. Would you believe it? Luckily for him, there is a third man. But that's the second time you've seen the edge being taken and there's no slip. When you're bowling with the new ball here, you have to have a slip. 4 overs done, 35 for none. Mushtaq is back into the attack. Good ball to begin with. His second over now. He opened the bowling for Footprint defenders. That's Santosh Rao, the leg spinner. We'll see him in a little while. As the ball gets a little older, they'll be looking to him to stem the flow of runs.
Yeah, real test for him because they're just going around that 9 runs over.
Again, it's been cut away, and that is not an effort you want to see at this level. Absolutely not. When the ball is travelling at that speed, you're not going to stop it with your foot, even if you're Ronaldo. 40 for none. Another boundary for Gallion.
Well, I would say you have risked your feet there. Simple as that. You might get yourself injured. Watch out, yeah? A slight bit of a odd bounce and you might have hit that ball at the knee area or somewhere where it hurts the most.
Yeah, bring your shin guards out if you're going to feel like that. That's going to hurt if it hits you there on the shin bone. But luckily for him, he didn't get any of it. And that's another boundary. So it hasn't been very aggressive shot making, but really playing the ball to its merits. Every time it's been drifted outside the off stump, they've driven it nicely. Just when I talk about playing with aggression, pulls out that pull shot, but it's straight to the fielder. Crossover for a 2. Good effort in the field to stop that from going from boundary.
Well, I don't really mind if you get hit boundary here as well. At least you are working on that zip and just trying to get that bounce and make batsmen play the ball, bowling on the body line, not offering him outside off and giving a lot of width where your fielder absolutely could not help you out to save runs.
A loop on that delivery, tried to get a bit more swing, saw that wrist moving. So boundary, a couple and a dot ball now. Mushtaq we want to end this over well. He's gone for 16 in his 2.5 overs without too much effort. Gallion are almost going at 10 runs per over. Again cut away, but it's straight to the fielder. Santosh once again will stop the ball from zipping away to the boundary. So playing with fire here, very risky stuff from the bowlers, offering enough width to the batters, and they'll need no invitation to cut that away when given the opportunity.
And I think the way if you put the ball straight down the ground, if you try those where you have the width outside off, that would make it look even better, where Usman is trying to play those classic drives. So maybe bring that T20 taste. Loft the ball up. He goes down the ground and 4 runs.
Yeah, we were just talking about how he hasn't played shots in aggression, but that was a shot of aggression. Walked down the track, met the ball at the pitch, and almost swatted it behind the bowler. Boundary at long on. So another 4 to end the over. It's the end of 5. It's 49. 45 in fact, 45 for none.
Well, Hussein Ali will be continuing, and coming into the comm box is AZ Ahmed Khwaja. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Abid. Good evening, everyone. Oh, just curving away from the batter there, Hussein Ali. Getting a nice shape on the ball, just needs to be closer to that fourth stump line. It's been a very good start for Gallion Cricket Club. Usman Khan back in the lineup and back amongst the runs once again. 38 of 24, and he's made it look absolutely easy.
We'll talk about Shafir, that he's just watching his partner play and making this knock look better. And out of 45 partnership, Shafir contributes only 6.
Yeah, that's the right channel from Hussein. Young emerging fast bowler of the Footprint Defenders Academy. They're playing a lot of young bowlers tonight. We saw Ahmed Khan also, Hussein Ali. So they're certainly a youth experiment, and the captain said at the toss, we want to promote our youngsters to take the pressure of bowling to the best in the UAE. The likes of Usman Khan, Hafiz Kaleem, Safir Tariq amongst them as well, Amjad Gul. Belted straight and will clear the boundary with ease.
Well, I would still blame the width. It was a bit too much from the bowler. Make it easy, width and straight, wide outside off, full. Makes it very easy. And Shafir, who loves to hit on the onside. And look at that, the slap and jab to play it down the ground.
Yeah, it looks a pretty easy paced pitch here. And the true bounce allows you to take some liberties. And now Safir Tariq looking to get undergoing now. Cracked away, beats the cover fielder. It's going to be back-to-back boundaries for Safir Tariq. 50 up for GCC.
Yeah, I know what that there will be a width, and one place that bowler is aiming is outside off. Oh, that should have been stopped. I feel he was not really early onto it, teasing and going towards the fence. 4 runs for Safir. Now he's chipping in.
Yeah, the ground fielding, the out cricket from Footprint Defenders has not been great. They haven't supported the young fast bowlers, being put under pressure by Usman Khan and now Safir Tariq. And Gallion Cricket Club, they needed a strong start, coming off 2 losses. They've lost 3 tosses in a row as well. Unlucky Hafiz Kaleem. A beautiful back cut behind point. That's the shot of the night for me.
Well, now he waited for that and driven beautifully that he cut it out, cut it in 2 pieces. Yeah, he's having certainly a sword in his hand, making look it's really easy to apply when you know the bowler is going to offer you with.
18 off 11 now. He was 6 off 7 just a couple of minutes back. That just shows you plenty of runs on offer. If you don't bowl in the right areas, the bounce is true, which is pretty easy paced. Now, Footprint Defenders are under pressure here, especially young Hussein Ali. Down the leg side. Well, fine leg was up. He got away with that one.
Well, I like the intent. At least he tried to bowl some varieties there. You can't be predictable bowling outside off. You just need to really work with the batter's mind. Change the pace, change the length, change the line.
Yeah, you need to mix it up here. If there's nothing on offer for you, variations is the name of the game. They did produce a couple of outside edges, beat the edge of the bat a fair few times. Short and hammered. Well, that was asking for trouble, and Safir Tariq is the troublemaker.
Well, you don't really have the pace where you can beat the batter with the short length. But if you really want to bowl short, bowl it on to the body line. That was absolutely great looking shot from Safir Tariq. To end the power play, it's 62 for none.
So it's going to be young Ayush Roy being introduced into the attack after the power play. Going to bowl some leggies here. Oh, it's a big juicy full toss. Misfield at long on. Well, you have to support your young bowlers. That is absolutely woeful.
Well, the amount of dent you get in your confidence when your fielders don't support you. Yes, that was not an ideal delivery. Full toss, but yes, your fielders were planned on that area, and that ball was supposed to be only single, where they cost them 4 runs. Not a great start for Ayush.
You have to feel for the young lad. Slip in place. That's a better delivery. Just slightly short. At least he landed it well. Another misfield at long on. They'll pick up 2. And I think, Abid, we need to change that fielder.
Yeah, because I think he's not good over from the previous misfielding. Shazeb there. You need to do first thing that change the fielder, because he'll be thinking all day that about what misfielding he have done earlier on the previous ball or the previous over.
Well, they've posted a mid-wicket within the ring now for that shot. They've moved that cow corner fielder more towards mid-wicket. It's another big full toss. It beats the fielder and is going to hit the fence once again. So Ayush is just struggling with the wet ball here.
Yeah, you see that a lot of work of a towel there. Is got the towel out. Is working fiercely with the towel because not being able to grip the ball. Yeah, Usman just don't want to risk his wicket. He's choosing to play along the carpet, but that ball was certainly there to be hit for a maximum.
It's a tough examination for young Ayush Roy, bowling to one of the best batters in the UAE, Usman Khan. Like you mentioned, even featured in the PSL for Quetta. That's a good delivery. Well bowled, young man. That's according to your field.
Well, it really takes a little bit time for the leggies to get settled. The best thing to do is just try to bowl a little early in the warm-up. Before you play the game, try a couple of overs at the nets.
Big full toss, slapped over mid-wicket. It will hit the fence, and that will bring up 50 for Usman Khan. Back-to-back half centuries for him in the Arabian Cricket League. Well played.
Well, what a player. He's a class and he's showing certainly tonight. We're just inside 7 overs and he made his 50. Great shot, loose delivery, and punished it well. The one was asking for.
Expensive over, 14 runs off it already. And Usman is hunting for plenty more. Oh, pulled in the air this time, over square leg and over the fence for a maximum.
Yeah, that will be hard to get it back. That's where somewhere at the center of the bushes. 20 runs of the over. That is a massive over. Look at that. Talking about the massive, and this was nothing less than a massive 6 on the onside. Playing it on the back foot. 82 for none.
So it's going to be Zain Raza, another youngster being introduced from the school end. Let's see. That last over was looted for plenty of runs, 20 to be precise. They need to break this opening stand. It's looking mighty difficult out there for Footprint defenders. There's been a change of the ball. Perhaps that seam just got too wet.
Yeah, something positive to be out there for the fast bowlers, even the spinners, that for that matter. But all the batters need to do is keep the ball along the carpet, so they make it again wet and make it on their condition where they like to hit the ball. It will be easier for the batter to play this ball as wet as it is.
It's already getting very dewy out there. We're only in the first hour of the game, so you can imagine later in the evening around 10:30 p.m. will be mighty difficult. Good delivery and good looking flowing extra cover drive. So Zain Raza, he started out well here.
Yeah, that was much needed, especially when the previous over going for 20. You really need to keep the game in the balance. It's just wondering why he was brought so late in the attack. He should have bowled with the new ball.
Yeah, certainly looks a decent prospect. Tall lad, hits the seam. Back cut behind point. Usman Khan, well, he's in imperious form tonight. Just a hint of width and he's cracked it away behind. Backward point once again. All along the carpet, no chance for the fielders. The cover sweeper could barely move. So the projected scores, I think we might see a double 100-run chase tonight here, Abid.
Well, I think it is really challenging to chase down anything goes beyond 180, 190. You're talking about 200 is a tall task, but for that, I think Gallion need to really work hard. Still.
Oh, pulled away over the short fine leg. And in fact, it's a flat six right at the tip of our com box.
Yeah, you might show that I was trying to look for the guard. Yeah, you can see in the behind two man in yellow.
Yeah, we didn't coordinate. It just happened naturally. That's the kind of relationship I have with my co-commentator Abid. 93 for none. The first poor delivery from Zain, and he's been carted for a maximum. Yes, that's way beyond the boundary rope.
Talk about projected. 241.
Good delivery, straight and back of length. That's where you need to be. And even Usman, who's batting on 68 of just 34 deliveries, gives it the due respect.
But I think they are not looking for that massive run to put on board. They just want to play the 20 over more than the other batters, the openers. They are looking to play some 200, around 200, 210 they'll be happy with. They're not rushing in at all.
Well, they've already posted 200 plus in this tournament, but that got chased down against TVSL. That's an excellent delivery. Good comeback by young Zain. 93 for none at the end of 8 overs. So it's going to be another leggy being introduced into the attack, Santosh Roy. Well, our stats guru Abdul Wasil is informing him he's in fact Ayush's dad. We need to confirm that though. Let's see how he goes about it. Oh, he's given a gentle full toss as well. And Safir Tariq has just eased it down the ground for a boundary. That shot was played in slow motion.
Yeah, he could have put it away for a maximum, but Safir chose to play on slow motion. Yeah, nice and easy picking just over the bowler. Beautiful shot. No chance for the fielder, absolutely.
Well, the captain of Footprint Defenders, Shiraz, looking concerned in the background. It's a big score already. That's better. Cut away. Oh, misfield by Ayush. Well, dad will not be happy with that. They'll pick up only one though.
Well, he's young, he's learning. There you go. The basics were not in place. You should have dived in the front, or it was more important to have the body behind the ball. That's the basic.
Yeah, need to block off that ball if it's coming at you quickly. Oh, just hitting the splice there. Could have been a chance for a cotton ball, but they will pick up one quite easily.
So you got to pick who's the better leggy, the father or the son.
Very good question. Perhaps we can say dad is a bit more experienced. Good middle order batter as well. Looking forward to seeing Ayush's batting. They'll certainly need it tonight. Looks like it's going to be a big run chase. Down the leg side, top spinner. He's just missed out on it. And that will be wide, and the 100 is raised for GCC in very good time.
Yeah, and that too, with all 10 wickets in hand, they will take it. They'll be happy from here. Moving forward, they'll be looking for the next 100.
Most certainly. Steps out and swipes it towards cow corner. There is protection out there. It's young Ahmed Khan out there fielding in that hot spot. So it's been a decent over from Santosh. Once again furiously working away with the towel.
It's all about that containing runs now. Maybe they're not going for the wickets. What they are trying is to be on the back foot.
Good looking drive. And for once a fielder doesn't make a mistake. It's the captain himself setting the tone in the outfield. But does look very, very good batting conditions here, Abid.
Ideal conditions for any batter, where the outfield is wet. You can see the fielders also struggling to stop the simple boundaries, or at times these singles. Yeah, Usman wanted to keep the strike maybe, and he said no to his partner. It's 9 past, 102 for none.
Zain Raza continues. Bowled a steady first over. Oh, well bowled and good looking punch. You know a batter is in good touch when he's playing that on drive. Usman Khan already into the 70s. And I think only if he makes a mental mistake will he deny himself 100 here. He's looking in very, very good form.
Yeah, he's playing with the very, very elegant, very mature today. It seems to be a different Usman Khan. making the game count.
Oh, struck on the pads. That was slightly going down leg. So Zain Raza is bowling good lines here, attacking the stumps. They will pick up a leg by, and they really missed Usman Khan's presence in the previous game, Gallion. They were 26 for 5 until Amjad Gul and Israr Ahmed played a wonderful partnership of 136 runs together. Still got chased down easily by Karwan CC. So they desperately need the 2 points tonight. Once again, sliced behind point like a knife through butter. Beautiful shot.
Well, Usman is a different player when he passed 50. Well, today it's all about the classic shot, the perfect cut shot, the perfect drive, playing on a merit of the ball is Usman Khan on a verge of making 100 here, and I would say that he will be looking and eyeing for the big one.
I think they need to keep a deep point now. He's taken so many shots on that late cut. It's there for a bad ball, but these are very young bowlers. You need to offer them as much protection as possible. Oh, big full toss! Is that going to be a no ball? Waiting for the umpire's signal. They didn't appeal for that leg before. And I think it's alright. It's just missed everything, including the bat.
Well, good to see that he's back on his feet. Ooh, I would still call it 50-50.
That's hit the fleshy part, not protected by the thigh pad or the pad, so it will sting. He looks alright though, thankfully. Let's take a look here. Oh yeah, that wasn't hitting the stumps, that's for sure. Slightly high. Once again, that wet ball causing problems. That's a better delivery. Tucked into mid-wicket for 1.
Yeah, I reckon we'll see a blue mark tomorrow morning there.
Oh yes, it's going to leave some bumps and bruises. That's for sure. But Usman, he is a warrior. He won't worry about that too much. Safir Tariq, meanwhile, 29 of 17. Just enjoying the show from the other end. 17 runs off his 1.5 overs. It's not been too bad from Zain Raza. Good delivery. They'll just ease it into the offside for 1. 110 for none at the halfway stage. Right then, back after the drinks break. There's going to be a change in the comm box. Joining me as Abid Ibrahim steps out, it's going to be Samir Yunus. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Santosh Rao. A father-son duo playing in this game. How often do you see that? Quite a rare sight in cricket. But it's nice to see.
Absolutely. Must be fun for the youngster. Maybe could be pressurizing as well, having your dad in the outfield alongside you, and he's also a leggy, but I'm sure they enjoy each other's presence out there in the middle. Steps out and launches it over extra cover. That has skimmed just inside the rope. Top shot from Usman.
I'll tell you what, it's Halloween tonight, and the footprint bowlers are being haunted by Usman Khan here. 80 for him now, 115 the total in just under 11 overs. Usman Khan has looked really good.
Oh, absolutely. He's a terrifying sight for many in the UAE domestic scene. He's putting on an absolute masterclass versus leg spin. They've posted a deep extra for him. But with these shorter straight boundaries, he can easily clear it at will. Deep extra and deep cover. With the long off, long on. Nobody behind square on the leg side. And he picks that gap. No, misfield by Zen. And he needed to get a hand on it, otherwise that was 4.
Yeah, makes sense for Safir to go for that shot. In fact, Usman Khan to go for that shot, because he saw that the offside, the driving length has been now covered with that extra cover and that deep cover. And therefore, there's lots of runs to be scored on the leg side. You get it past that field, that square leg, it's 4 all over. So Safir will now take strike.
They haven't changed the field, interestingly. And he's bowled it on the pads. Well, that's very poor. That's a hit-me delivery. And Safir Tariq has gone for breakfast, dinner and lunch on that one.
Yeah, that's the one place they don't have a fielder in the deep, and Santosh ends up bowling exactly there. So really an invitation for Safir to go over the field at fine leg and pick up an easy boundary. So he's now quietly got on to 35 of 20. He's played the lesser hand in this partnership, but it's been quite an effective one.
Must be mighty frustrating for Shiraz, the skipper. You've set a particular field. You want him to bowl outside off, but then you bowl one short down the leg side. Easy pickings. 120 raised in just under 11 overs. Those projected scores are looking quite ominous indeed. And this time the slog sweep comes out and beats the deep mid wicket. Safir dealing in 4s as well now.
Yeah, we've seen how Safir is a strong leg side player, and when you're packing that offside, you're giving him the license to go over on the onside. There's only one fielder in the deep there. Yes, there is a long on, but Safir prefers the mid wicket and square leg region, and that's where he's picked up those 2 boundaries now in this over.
Very little respite for the wrist spin. 3 boundaries in the over. How do they stem this deluge of runs? It's looking nigh impossible. That's better according to the field, but this time the deep extra has come in. Well, they're toying with the bowlers here. 4 boundaries in the over. 128 for none after 11. Zain Raza, well, he's been the pick of the bowlers, even though his figures don't look particularly outstanding either. But the young lad is certainly trying his heart out. Oh, down the leg side and just tickled away for an easy boundary for Usman Khan.
You got a feel for these bowlers. They're really struggling to grip the ball here so early on in the game. It's only the 11th, 12th over of the first innings, and they're already struggling with the dew here. It's only going to get more and more tougher. And the kind of mood that Safir and Usman are in, they're not going to miss out on these loose deliveries. They haven't missed out on any. And now they're just making matters worse here for the bowlers.
Well, I wonder if the captain Shiraz is ruining the fact that he chose to bowl first. His logic was correct. The ball will be tougher to grip later in the evening. But it's been quite humid, quite steamy right from ball one. So it's perhaps going to affect both sides equally. 85 or 45 now. Another square cut and it beats Ayush at short third. Well, the out cricket from footprint defenders has left much to be desired, Samir.
Hussain Ali at third man on that occasion. Again letting it go. So the fielding not up to standard, the bowling not up to standard, and these two have taken full toll and full advantage of what has been a very mediocre performance from the Gallion, from the footprint bowlers.
Yeah, pardon me. I thought it was Ayush. Both have that similar fizzy hairdo. But Ayush, he's wearing a yellow cap. So my due apologies to him. 89 or 46. 2 boundaries off the first 2 deliveries. How does Zain Raza bounce back here? Pulled. And could this be a catching opportunity? Nobody there at mid-wicket. 1 bounce over the rope. 3 fours in a row for Usman Khan as he sails into the 90s.
If you watch that shot closely here, the replay that's coming up, he made sure he didn't really finish that shot and didn't turn too much. He made sure he got that straight to that mid-wicket region because there was no fielder there. So that's very smart batting there from Usman. Takes him to the 90s now.
We've had 6 boundaries in a row, if you can believe it. They really turned on the tap now. Going at 100 miles per hour this batting innings. 140 for none. For this time, once again looking for that square drive, getting a bottom half of the bat.
You got a feel for the captain of footprint here, Shiraz Sarfraz. He has quite a few youngsters in his team, probably lacking experience on a big stage like this. And mind you, bowling to probably one of the top batters in the whole of UAE. And it's never going to be easy. With all these conditions, a wet ball, dew coming around, and you're bowling to such star-class batters, it's always going to be difficult. But these are experiences that they'll take and learn from.
Absolutely. Completely agree with you there. Swivel on that one and no chance for the deep fine leg. Safir Tariq getting in on the act as well. Beautiful shot.
Yeah, they've seen from the beginning how Safir is one of those strong onside players. We've noticed that now quite a while ago. Yet the bowlers keep spraying on his leg, and that's probably because they're trying to overcorrect after getting hit by Usman so much on the offside. In fact, it was Usman. They've given those runs to Usman, but it was Safir who scored that boundary.
Yeah, it's been raining force from both ends now. And Zain Raza, well, he's had a torrid time in his third over. Struck on the back pad and he's been given. So finally a wicket arrived for footprint defenders. And Safir Tariq caught plumb in front, swinging across the line. And Zain gets his man.
Finally some respite for the bowlers. A wicket for footprint defenders. It's 144 for 1.
So Usman on 94, one hit away, and we're going to have a change in the bowling. It's going to be Shahzeb Alam into the attack from the academy end. And he starts with a half tracker. That was close. Went straight to Ayush at backward point. So once again, you can see even Shahzeb is indicating it's very tough for me to grip the ball. And lost his footing as well. They have to be careful. They need him in the batting effort. Made a 50 in his previous innings. Oh, once again he's lost his footing. Well, he needs a change of spikes here, Samir.
Yeah, change your sponsor, Shahzeb. It's clearly not working out, those shoes. But yeah, it's been a tough night out for the bowlers. Very slippery conditions. The ball not gripping, the feet not gripping. Look at that. It was a slip. He takes a tumble for the second time in this over. The umpire just checking with him. Just a bit of concern there. He's now going round the wicket. He's taking that run up there just to make sure that it doesn't slip from that end. Here's a stat that I've just been given. 12.2 overs, that's 74 deliveries, and out of that 29 have gone to the fence. 27 fours and 2 sixes. That's a lot of boundaries.
That's an absolute pelting for footprint defenders. So I think he might need a change of footwear here, Shahzeb. He's still soldiering on. Going around the wicket now. But you need those metal spikes here, I reckon, not the rubber ones. Let's see if he can do better here. He's lost his footing again. But something has to be done about this. I think the umpire needs to have a word with the bowler as well.
This is becoming embarrassing now for Shahzeb. He's clearly struggling. Landing now. He's trying to, I think, change shoes with one of the other fielders because clearly rubber spikes on this wicket with so much dew. There's always going to be trouble. So we'll wait and see if he can come back and not fall again.
Well, the keeper Mridun has very graciously accepted to change boots with Shahzeb Alam. Hopefully, this should solve his dilemma. Let's take a look. Yeah, much better. Oh, and he's produced an outside edge. Has he? Well, all sorts of things are happening here at the ICC Academy tonight.
Well, they changed the ball once. That didn't help. Now that he's changed the shoes, maybe it's a change of fate. Let's wait and watch. His bowled an absolute beauty after changing his shoes.
Don't give them back, I reckon. Keep them. Just pushed for one this time. Good fielding by the skipper. And Usman is on 95 not out. Will he look to bring up his century with a big shot? Or just look to nudge the ball around? Abdul Hafiz Afridi, the new batter in. He's another big striker of the ball, as his name suggests. He'll be looking to counter-attack these flat, quicker ones. And taken. What a catch by Ayush at backward point. Well, he went for the big shot, and that's a sharp catch by the youngster.
That was pocketed, wasn't it? It was going at some pace there by Hafiz Afridi. Hit it really hard. It just locked it into his hands, Ayush there. A very good fielding effort given the context of the game today. There have been a few spills, there have been a few misfields, but this one gets locked right in. Finally, a second wicket now. 2 quick wickets for footprint defenders.
Well, let's take a look at that catch once again. It was travelling and brilliantly snaffled by young Ayush Roy. Well done, young man. Is there going to be a twist of fate in this batting effort for GCC? So the new batter coming in is Israr Ahmed. Played a very good knock in the previous game against Karwan CC.
It's been an eventful over from Shahzeb here. Tumbled a couple of times, changed his shoes, bowled a good ball, and then a first ball to the new batter picks up a wicket. So you might be thinking of starting new overs every time with a tumble.
And with a new pair of shoes.
I put a deal with the wicketkeeper and try and keep those now. Go back to the hut and speak a little deal between the two. Right then, last ball of the over.
Oh, beats the outside edge. Was looking for that glide. Could have easily nicked off. Excellent over from Shahzeb Alam. 147 for 2. Well, 7 bowlers used there by Shiraz Sarfraz, the captain. And it's only been Shahzeb Alam and Mushtaq Ali Khan who've posted some respectable figures. He still needs 7 more. I think Zain Raza will bowl out. Maybe Ahmed Zahoor Khan will be re-entrusted. It was very difficult for him bowling inside the power play. Hussain Ali looked all right as well. So there are quite a few sparkling youngsters in this footprint side. And yes, Mushtaq Ali Khan, the senior man, coming on to bowl. Usman Khan on 95. Right in the block hole. And he's just looked very cautious. He must have that milestone in the back of his mind.
Yeah, and he can afford to do that now. His team's lost a couple of wickets. They are on a very good run rate there, 11.16. They can afford to play out a few quiet overs. When I say a few, I mean a couple. Come that 15th over, again, they'll be looking to step on the gas. And while he's pushing towards that century that he's played so well for Usman Khan, he can afford a few quiet deliveries here.
That lime green helmet, very, very familiar side. Israr Ahmed and Amjad Gul, we saw plenty of them in the previous match for Gallion Cricket Club. And he's gotten a promotion in the batting order, good to see. Oh, outside edge. That wasn't in control. There is a deep third in place for Mushtaq. If he was in the ring, he might have been in business there.
And not the first time Mushtaq has prized out that outside edge. At an early outside edge in the first over, if there had been a slip, Usman Khan would have been gone in the first over. Captain not choosing to attack there. Paid the price with Usman going along so well. 96 now for him. Boundary away from 100.
And there it is. That has been slapped over square leg. And that is a century for Usman Khan. A champion's knock. 100 raised in just 54 deliveries. Well played.
We've witnessed a fine innings tonight here in Dubai at the ICC Academy Oval 2. Usman Khan came into bat with some intent, and the most impressive thing about this innings has been how he's played that ball. There have been no shots in aggression, there have been no tonking around. It's just good cricketing shots. The ball being played to its merit in all parts of the ground. Literally a 360 player tonight, Usman Khan.
Fabulous knock. And Mushtaq Ali under pressure. Good reply, right on the money. So that's the second century of the Arabian Cricket League. We saw Qamar Awan in match number 1 for Karwan CC go all the way. And now Usman Khan. 17 boundaries, 3 maximums. And look at that strike rate. Absolutely brilliant. Sensational innings. And it's not over yet. In fact, maybe it's just beginning. Drop kick down to long on for 1.
Yeah, he's going to start again now. Generally, you hear your teammates shouting from the dugout. Start again, mate. Start again, mate. That's what he's going to do here. Usman Khan reset his mind. Go big come the business end of this innings. They've already got off to a flyer under 12 runs and over.
Yeah, indeed, completely agree with you. Attempted Yorker, nicely bowled. So Mushtaq Ali Khan will conclude his spell. Pretty decent stuff on the day. None for 29. It's 156 for 2 at the end of 14. Shahzeb Alam continues. Right on the money. He's not really looking to turn the ball, he's just firing it in. And it has produced a wicket for him, so why change what works? Projected scores still looking well beyond 200. Back cut. Well, that's been the signature shot of Usman Khan tonight. How many times have we seen that ball scream away through backward point for 4?
Those flashy wrists of Usman Khan coming into play once again. And that's not even a width delivery. That wasn't too much room, but he's so quick there with his wrists. Just cuts them away, and more importantly, cuts them away in the gap. Shahzeb here, only successful spinner, hasn't given away too many. There was the first boundary that he gave away.
Steps out and over extra cover, just beats the fielder. Smart batting, creating that length and pounding it for 4 once again.
Yeah, he's seen enough of him now. Usman has seen enough of Shahzeb Alam. I said, right, we've seen him. We know what he does. Now's the time to go after him. So under pressure now, Shahzeb Khan, 2 boundaries in the first 3 balls. We'll see how he comes back.
Yeah, now he's looking to be very aggressive against him. Slower delivery this time. Good change up, and that's what you need to do. Can't just dart the ball in and expect an experienced player batting on 111 to let you get away with it. Have to mix it up.
We've had 2 leg spinners, the father-son duo of Santosh and Ayush. They have not been too successful for Gallion. It's their off-spinner Shahzeb. And when I say spin, there's barely been any spin tonight. It's been just dart straight stuff. But at least Shahzeb is got his lines right. He's not allowing the batsmen any free ones to really make room and hammer them.
Oh, that was that quickish off break once again. Israr, it's not really quite his game to go hammer and tongs at the ball. More of a nudger, nerdler. I think he'd do well to feed the strike to Usman. And that's a big juicy full toss. Hit straight to long off. He'll retain the strike as well. 166 for 2 with 5 overs to go.
Santosh Roy, and he's been picked up. First ball of this new spell. Israr Ahmed down on one knee. Ahmed Khaja was just saying that he's not the kind of batter who tongs from the first ball, but Israr Ahmed here proving otherwise. Big six to start this over.
Yeah, took a while to come nicely underneath it. He's given him a lot of time to settle and whack it towards the long on with one knee down. Brilliant shot that was from Mr. Ahmed.
Usually when you get down that one knee, you're looking to go leg side with that slog sweep. But what he did well there was Israr. He played it nice and straight. Saw that it was too full to go for the slog and therefore took the aerial route behind the bowler.
That's true. This time steps out, charge. Maybe a chance of a catch here. Oh, that was put down. That was put down. Costly drop.
I've seen a few of those in this tournament. Some easy ones being dropped down. Couldn't call this one easy by any means. But seriously, at this level, you expect those to be taken. Israr is looking to go big now. And a wicket here would have been very useful for Gallion.
That was Skyer. If his partner was close by, I tell you, that pop out, he could have held it. We have seen a lot of catches being held. This one again hit up and just one bounce inside the rope and 4 runs. Mind you, this time it was Usman who's played that so elegant. Look at that, going deep in his crease.
It wasn't even that short actually, that from Santosh Roy, but Usman, the kind of form he's in, had enough time to swivel back, rock onto his back foot and just choose where he wanted to hit that, and he chose to go over mid-wicket. The boundary to his name. That projected score looking very dangerous now. A slog sweep again. Will that go over the fence? Yes, it does. So for the first time, you're seeing Usman looking to play those slog sweeps. He's been very technically correct all day, all night rather. This time he chose to go for that good old-fashioned slog.
Yeah, look at the timing of that. It's an art to play that shot. You need to judge the pace, you need to judge where it will land, how much bounce it will take, and hitting it over the park for a maximum itself is an achievement there for Usman, who's batting on 122 of just 62 deliveries. What a knock this is.
Yeah, the total there 183, and Usman has scored 120 of those runs. He's done the bulk of the scoring. Again he steps forward, again he goes big, and again it's a 6. This time the biggest one of the night.
Well, he seems to be playing with the bowlers. Look at that. He knew it. This will be slightly quicker. And he was charged in, coming down the track, hits it over the bowler head and clawed. Huge 6. It gets even beautiful when you play it down the ground.
That's always the safest and the nicest place to play. Any coach will tell you, hit behind the bowler. 50 runs for Santosh as a bowler. Just his third over, he's gone for plenty this evening. And as you can see there, the towel's out once again. Really a struggle here for the bowlers to grip that ball. And that's probably why Usman has been offered some really good deliveries to whack them around. Again flighted, but this time it might just go straight to the fielder. So rare single for Usman Khan. 16 overs done. Look at that score. 190 for 2. Footprints captain going with his wicket-taking bowler quite understandably. 1 for 12 for Shahzeb. Clearly the most economical bowler for Footprint, and he'll be looking to pick up the wicket of Usman Khan, who looks in the mood here tonight. He's again hit that in the gap, but the fielder will be able to cut it off. Just a single there. he hasn't gone for too many, Shahzeb Alam. He's bowled well. At least he's not given too much for the batters to work with.
191 on the board and you're past 16.1, and out of this one bowler gives only 13 and picks up a wicket also in his 2.1. Well, you can imagine only the others has been really taken for the ride.
Yeah, what does Israr do here now? Does he look for that single and give the strike back to Usman, or does he also step on the gas? And we've seen him play a couple of big shots. Will he continue in his merry way? Yeah, that's what he'll do. He'll nudge them in the gap and he'll say, Usman, you've been scoring heavily all night. It's over to you.
I think it's really not easy to hit someone like Shahzeb Alam, who's just taking a little bit of a turn, and also I can sense the ball is taking a little bit of a skid there before coming to the batter. It won't be so easy for any batter, but barring Usman Khan, who's batting on 130, he can see the ball of cricket as a football ball now, a huge one, and he can play it will wherever he wants, which corner he can choose.
That's been cut away. That's been the go-to shot for Usman Khan. Every time there's been width offered, whether it's by the spinner or the fast bowler, Usman's wrists have just been lightning fast. And the best thing about those shots is that he finds those gaps every single time. Another boundary to him.
Very good looking shot. Cut it to two pieces, and that was really travelling fast. Beautiful shot. One can only execute that when he's in a tremendous nick.
And Shahzeb honestly hasn't bowled too many bad deliveries. It's just been, Usman is so fast with those wrists outside the off stump. Can't afford to give him any room. This time he makes room. And he goes big behind the bowler. That's another big one. So no mercy for any of the bowlers from Usman Khan. He's on song and he's singing a nice song tonight. It's 140 for him now. Getting close to that 150 mark.
Well, you can hear that noise from the hitting the side screen. That itself a melody there. Big shot down the ground, straight as it can get, 200 up with the maximum. Another one!
Well, I'll tell you what, Usman Khan here has decided to only deal in boundaries now. That's his currency for tonight. No dirham, no dollars, no pounds. He's looking for boundaries and he's dealing in sixers right now.
Look at that control on that shot. He's got completely swing of the bat. He's thrown the kitchen sink at it. Well, in fact, it has thrown all the kitchen there. The tables.
Not just the sink, the whole pantry table at it. In fact, 146 for Usman Khan. He's looking for a 150 now. What an entertaining innings this has been. Shahzeb has been bowling so well so far. Suddenly, it's gone for plenty now. Again makes room. This time it's a full toss, so isn't able to do too much about that. Pushes that down to the field at long off. Gets a single. That's Ismat Khaja at the back. Receiving his tea. 17 overs done. 209 for 2. Ayush right, a leg spinner, young leg spinner. But it doesn't matter if you're young or old. If you're bowling to Usman Khan, more often than not, you're going to get disappeared. Another 6 for Usman Khan. He reaches 150. What a fine innings this has been from him.
Well, that's some great milestone for a great batter we have in the region. Look at that. That was a massive. These sixes are getting only bigger, bigger and better.
He's put on a show, hasn't he, tonight? Usman Khan, has been a real pleasure watching him bat 153 of 70. That strike rate over 200 now. It's been a real classy innings, and it's not like he got away to a big start in the start. He watched the ball, he was careful at the beginning, but he just kept on progressing from there on. Young Ayush is under pressure now. 6 off the first delivery. Again, that's been picked up short, and all Usman had to do was stand and deliver, and he's delivered it far and wide into those bushes.
Well, he seems to be unstoppable. Look at that shot, and did not really carry, but came nicely underneath of the bat. That was another huge one. Well, 2 balls been bowled, and both of them going into the bushes. Now we'll take a little while the ball to come back. It's all the time. It's while Usman batting. Look at that. This was the first one. That was a mammoth, and this one was even sweet, big and nice.
And mind you, these are not small grounds. There's a big oval here at the ICC Academy, and Usman Khan seems to be clearing them with relative ease. Ayush Rana again shot. This time again it's behind the bowler. This is a display and an exhibition of 6 hitting from Usman Khan.
I wonder what would be the bowler thinking, where he need to bowl. Yes, again short and simple. This is not the ball that you want to bowl who is batting on over 150. What a clinical knock this is. 165. Are we on that 6 sixes in the over, Samir?
Now, too soon to ask for that. But I guess Ayush Roy, the youngster, his father needs to come and have a chat with him, with the young boy. Listen, son, you've got this. Don't worry about it. These are all learning experiences. Have a chat with him. The father is a spinner himself. Maybe good for him to put a shoulder around him and say, son, don't worry. Can get this right. Let's see what he's got here. The captain has had a chat with him. See what he has said to him. Oh, this time he misses out, Usman Khan. That was looking big. Lots of light on that. He stepped forward, but luckily for Ayush, didn't get all of it. So a double there. 2 runs to Usman.
What would be the relief on the bowler to see that Usman is on non-striking end? He's hit 5 sixes from the last 7 deliveries. That's some figures that we're talking about. If he's 7 deliveries, he struck 5 sixes. What a confident.
He hadn't scored too many big ones at the beginning of his innings, in his first 50 to 70 runs. But after that, really, once he got his eye in, he really got going and brought out those big shots. Was dealing in good looking boundaries, some textbook shots. But now he's thrown the textbook away. This has been powered over cover. No protection there. Full outside the off stump on a driving length. And Usman Khan has absolutely whacked that on the offside. 44 of 2 overs from Ayush Roy. Very, very expensive here tonight. 233 for 2 at the end of 18. We've got 2 more overs to go. Right, the last over from Shahzeb Khan here. He's literally been the pick of the bowlers tonight, despite going for 31. Bowled a good 2 first over. Isra Ahmed, obviously, looking and choosing to go for that single and give Usman Khan the strike, who's been hammering it to all parts of the park.
Yeah, one shouldn't really be bothering to take the bowlers for the boundary when you have your partner who's doing it so well, with just 30 shy of that 200.
Will he get there?
It's very interesting.
He's back there again. It might just be a catch. No, in fact, he's made an absolute mockery of that, the fielder at long on. He could have protected that boundary, just grabbed that on the bounce, but he chose to go for the catch and fell short and given away a 4 to Usman Khan. As if he hasn't scored enough boundaries, they've given him another one.
Well, the scenes were starting from the beginning. The fielding was absolutely nowhere close. Usman, the question still remains to be unanswered.
This time on the offside, and he's cleared the fence again. Wherever you bowl to Usman Khan, he's going to find the boundary. And I'll tell you what, he's going to find that 200 mark if he goes on like this. 9 balls to go in this innings, and he's just 20 short. And the way he's been going, I won't be surprised if he doesn't get that 200.
Well, this is not the first time I'm witnessing something like this. Madness, absolutely madness from Usman Khan. I have watched him play 10 overs game in scoring 150 runs. Yes, this is a longer format, 20 overs, where he brings the big numbers. 180 already, and can we register the first 200 at the Arabian Cricket League?
When I came to Dubai, a few of my friends in the cricketing circles told me that you'll see big scores here, because generally batting friendly wickets and you get some really good batters here. When they said big, I didn't expect this big. These are big scores. 244 in under 19 overs, and Usman Khan has scored a good percentage of those runs, 180 of 76 deliveries. This has been a sensational batting innings. The bowlers have been clueless. Drops it short, and again the same treatment. Usman Khan is dealing in sixers.
Well, that was the biggest, I think, for the night. That was monster. Shahzeb had no other option than bowling it quick. And the more quicker you bowl, the further it goes. Usman hits 12 sixes in this knock. What an incredible inning this is.
72 runs of just sixes. This way he's going, I'm going to meet him after the game and ask him to buy me a dictionary, because we are running out of adjectives to describe his batting.
Look at those sixes that he's been hitting it all over the park. One bigger than the other.
Oh, that's a chance. But dare I call it a chance, because that was hit quite firmly, and that too won't go for a boundary. That's a fine fielding effort there from Mushtaq. Very good save there. Saved 2 runs. Not much in the context of the game, but it's still something.
Oh, it hit him in the hand. I'm sure he'll be okay. Yeah, I think that was clean. That was perfectly fielded by Mushtaq. He certainly saved a boundary there.
Last 24 ball 88 runs. The century was on 54 balls.
Oh, that was hit straight again.
Almost a replay, wasn't it?
Yeah, but slightly on a slow motion.
Yeah. Our scorer here tells us that the last 25 balls have gone for 89 runs, and that's why you're seeing 253 for 2. Thank you, Shanai. It's the end of 19 overs. $253 for 2 in 19 overs. It's a mammoth score that has been posted by Gallion, and all eyes now on Usman Khan, who's on 189. Same amount of runs that Sanat scored in Sharjah once. Speaking of this region against India, there was a fine innings. But here it's all about Usman Khan, and Zain will do the honours of the last over. Well, I'm not even surprised anymore. Every ball that Usman Khan has faced in the last 3 or 4 overs is looked to hammer, and most times he's been successful in depositing them behind the fence. 195 for him now.
Well, how would you stop this one? How would you stop this man from stroking those big sixes? Every time, every ball seems to be an easy one for him. He's one hit away from getting that milestone, the double 100. Wow, what a knock. I'm clueless.
That's been pulled, but I don't think he's hit that with too much force. It'll just be a 2, I think. He'll keep the strike. That's what he'll be happy about. 197 for him now. He's got 4 more balls, and the way he's been batting, he might just cross 210. What a fine innings this has been. He's really put on an exhibition of star batting. Circumspect at the beginning, played some really delightful textbook strokes, and then really cut loose with some big strokes. And no bowler received any mercy from Usman Khan. That's a 6. That's a huge one. 203 for Usman Khan. Removes his helmet. Young man, you have played a gem of an innings. What a fine innings this has been. He's lit up the Dubai sky with sixes tonight, one after the other, and he's reached a brilliant milestone. 203 of just 82 deliveries. That strike rate of 250. This is a Halloween that Usman Khan is never ever gonna forget. What an innings.
What a knock this is. Rightly said, Samir. One should remember the clean hitting, chanceless knock. He's been hitting every part of this ground, tonguing every single bowler. What a knock this is.
And he continues his merry ways. That's another boundary for Usman Khan. You bowl anywhere to him, he is going to punish you. Here's another stat of all stats that have been hammered tonight. His first 100 was of 54 deliveries, and his second 100 came in 28 deliveries.
Wow. Talk about batting, talk about masterclass. This man has got everything. We have seen all around the ground those shots he played. He started really nicely, and the moment he came into bat, it seems that he's ready to put on the big show, and he turned this on, lit the ICC Cricket Academy with his batting class.
Yeah, this is now become regular, hasn't it? Bowler runs in, bowls, and the ball goes behind the boundary line. We are not even excited for these sixes anymore. Usman Khan, nothing can stop him tonight. He'll say, add a few more overs, I want to keep batting.
Goodness me. One could only imagine you're passing 200 run mark in 20 overs game and hitting sixes that you will.
3-6.
He'd probably be asking the bowler, where do you want me to hit? I tell you, that kind of a confidence this man has now. Watch out. I say, Usman, throw it to the com box. Let me do some catching practice.
Yeah, well, he's hit it everywhere, hasn't it? This has been a really pleasing innings to watch. Very rarely do you see a batter scoring 200 in a T20 game. How will he finish here? 2 balls to go. Didn't get all of it. For the first time tonight, he's missed something so straightforward, Usman Khan. Well, you can excuse him for that, for the entertaining innings that he's played tonight.
We're just confirming. It seems to me there is one final delivery left over. We are done with the game. The first inning. Well, I think it would be the team bowling. Would be praying to get over this 20 overs soon.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Gallion won't be complaining. They don't mind that 1 ball shot. 20 overs done. And we were so excited here in the combox. We lost count of the deliveries, haven't we? But what a show this has been. What a fantastic show of batting this has been from that man, Usman Khan, the Khan of all Khans. And he definitely can. He can't is not the right word to say. 273 for 2 put up by the Gallion Cricket Club. Right? All thanks to that man in the second row, Usman Khan. 209 of 85, a superb partnership with Safir Tariq at the 47 of 24 for him. A rare duck there for Hafiz Afridi. He must be wondering what went wrong for him. Israr Ahmed was just a spectator.
Yeah, he just came in, chip in to see and witness the game right in front at the best seat that he can get. That's really, really some poor figures in the bowling that you see from these bowlers. They've been hammered. But take Mushtaq Ali out of that box. He bowled 4 overs so brilliant with the economy of 7.2, but haven't picked up any wicket. But then coming at the wickets column, Zain Raza picked up 1 wicket and Shahzeb Alam got 1 wicket to his name. Only 2 wickets the team Footprint Defenders were managed to get in all allotted 20 overs. But look about the score. What a massive total has been put on the board. It's a mammoth 273. It would be 274 to chase down when we come back to see this, and required run rate would be 13.7 from the word go. Not an easy task for Footprint Defenders. When we come back, we'll see how they get back the reply.
Right then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the ICC Academy. Oval number 2 for the SkyX.net presents ICC Academy Arabian Cricket League 2022-2023 powered by Fan Code. It's match number 16 in progress, and it's Abdul Malik taking the new ball for Gallion Cricket Club. News from the centre is that Footprint defenders in blue and green won the toss, elected to bowl first, and they have been absolutely smashed for a mighty score of 277 in their allotted 20 overs. Usman Khan with the blitzkrieg, a double century, 230 not out of 85 balls. So the two openers are out there. It's Salman Hashim and Shahzaib Alam for the men in blue and green. Let's see what Footprint defenders can make of this mighty run chase. Gentle loosener there from Malik, bit of extra bounce. I am Ahmed Khwaja, and joining me in the comm box for the first passage of play of this run chase, it's going to be Samir Yunus. Good evening, Samir.
Good evening, Ahmad. We've had the pleasure of watching the highest total being put up in this Arabian League, ICC Academy of the Arabian League, and courtesy Gallion Cricket Club. And that was largely thanks to a superb innings of a lifetime from Usman Khan. 213, a mammoth innings there. And now it's their turn to defend that score that they've put up.
Belted down the ground. Good intent from Shahzaib Alam. Clears the front leg and swats it over the umpire for 4 runs.
Yeah, can't afford to take too much time to watch the ball because they're chasing a massive 277. They'll have to keep doing that very, very regularly if they are to get anywhere close to that target. Shahzaib Khan, fresh after a 50 in the previous innings, and he'll want to go about his merry way and continue to be in the form that he is in.
Yeah, he had a decent day with the ball, and like you mentioned, coming off a 50 in his previous game, so the form is decent. Let's see if he can keep swinging for the fences and keep connecting just like that. Oh, it's been chipped and just falling short of the mid-wicket fielder. Leading edge, and that could have gone anywhere.
Gallion would have liked to have his wicket. I've been saying Khan so much tonight. I'm even calling Shahzaib Alam Shahzaib Khan, but this was dangerous. Could have gone anywhere. Could have gone straight to the fielder, but luckily for him, landed just short of that fielder at mid-wicket.
Abdul Malik, the new inclusion in the side. Bowling all-rounder. Bowls good seam up. Left arm over the wicket. Gets that ball to swing away from the right-handers and can really belt the ball as well. A good all-rounder to have in any side. Meanwhile, Salman Hashim facing his first delivery of the night. Oh, just prodding at that one. There was a slip in place. Bit of extra bounce, extra lift for Malik.
I was about to say, good move there to have the slip there. That's a mistake that Footprint defenders made by not having a slip early on. Otherwise, they would have seen the back of Usman Khaja very early in that innings. In fact, the first over, he got a thick outside edge, but there was no slip. It was a crime from the captain there because early on, the ball's moving around, fast bowler running in, you have to have that slip there.
Yeah, that was perhaps the only false shot he played in the entire innings. Down the leg side. Has he gloved it? No, it's given as a wide. Umpire Zargham not convinced by the appeals of the Gallion lads.
Gallion lads looking on in disbelief as if they're 100% convinced there was something on it.
Yeah, I don't see any deflection there. Safir Tariq, the keeper, was completely convinced, but they couldn't convince the man in black. That's who matters.
Yeah, Hafiz Kaleem there in the slip cordon. Captain of the side, placing himself in the slip position. He was convinced to, almost put his hands up for a moment, thought he was the umpire.
Perhaps could be the click of the bat handle. We've seen that many times. It produces a sound. This time looking to hoik on the leg side. That's not a good idea. Steady over from Malik to open up. 6 for none. So it's going to be Saifullah Noor sharing the new ball with Malik. He had a topsy-turvy outing against Karwan CC. Was continuously slipping, sliding. Hopefully he sorted his footwear for tonight. Very skillful bowler and a good addition to the Gallion side. You can rely on him with the new ball. Let's see what he can produce tonight versus Footprint defenders. Oh, well, he's bowled him. He's gone right through the gate. And that's a big wicket. Shahzeb Alam with a shot in anger. And he's been castled.
What a way to start. What a good first ball by Saifullah. Straight on the money and rattles those stumps. In swinger, wow. Every left-armer's dream. Early on, first ball of the over. You can't really blame Shahzeb there for going for that shot. They have to go big early because they're chasing a big score. He goes for 5. It's 6 for 1.
So it's Sethu Ratnam Ramakrishna. That's a mouthful indeed, coming in at number 3. And he has to watch out for the in-swinger. Oh, he struck on the pads, but has that pitched? Oh no, it's a no ball. Drama at the ICC Academy.
Now that looked plumb, didn't it? I was convinced the umpire is going to raise his finger. He did raise his hand though to signal a no ball. Not the finger, it was the hand. Saifullah would have thought, right, I've got another one. I'm about to be on a hat-trick. And then he looked back. To his horror, the umpire put his hands up. And now the umpire will circle to signal a free hit.
I was also perplexed why Saifullah had pulled out of his celebration. Well then, free hit for Sethu Ratnam. And a big swing and a miss. Well, this game plan to play across the line to the in-swinger from the left-handers, I think they need to recalibrate here, Samir.
I love watching that in-swinger, that natural angle that left-armers bring. He's getting a lot of it, and he seems to be in good control of it. The first ball, nice and straight, swinging into the right-hander. Shahzeb playing all over that and getting bowled. And even that no ball looked plumb, absolutely plumb to Sethu Ratnam. And if he can continue probing on that line, that difficult line, going to pick up maybe one more wicket in this over.
Yeah, they're not really looking to put a price on the wicket, are they? Swinging from the hip. This time extra bounce and another no ball. Well, Saifullah, his trouble with his delivery stride continues. He doesn't seem to like bowling at this venue.
Yeah, we saw him having some trouble in the last game. Was stumbling a couple of times. Wasn't really landing too well. And today too, 2 no balls now in this over. Well, they've picked up that 1 wicket, but they don't want to relax. Even though they scored 277, you never become complacent. You never know, the ball game can be taken away. Another cricketer from this team can just play another big innings.
Yeah, they in fact got 247 chased down against them. But this time, big hoik from Salman Hashim. Well, I really have to wonder here. Is that how you're planning to chase down 278? The percentages don't favor you, Samir.
Yeah, that's the difference, wasn't it? What we saw from Usman Khan early on was some proper cricketing strokes in the beginning. He played some nice looking shots, proper textbook cricket, and then later on, when he was settled, he went for those big hoiks. But you can't do that early on with the swinging ball, with good pace coming at you. You'll have to be careful.
Have to play on the merit of the ball. It's another no ball. Well, Saifullah, what is going on with you tonight, my man? You need to correct your run-up. This is going to be a lengthy over.
A good ball and a no ball. He seems to be following a pattern here. Comes back with a good delivery and then follows it up with another no ball. something on that delivery stride that seems to be troubling him. He seems to be taking another run up again, another count.
Well, we do have the new ICC regulations in place. So when you are late, you will face penalties in terms of fielding restrictions. So Hafiz Kaleem will have that in the back of his mind. Free hit for Salman Hashim. And it's gone across him. And that will count as a legal delivery.
Well, no balls don't hurt as much except when you've picked up a wicket off a no ball. That's when it really rattles you up as a bowler. You've bowled a good ball, you've picked up that wicket, and you turn around and see the umpire put that hand up. Really breaks you down.
Well, Samir, recently, last Sunday in fact, we saw a no ball hit the stumps and roll away to short third for 3 runs. That was very, very painful indeed. Mr. Virat Kohli. Oh, this time he's latched onto it. Sliced over point. Chase given by the fielders. Oh, gets that big boot down in time. The deep third. And they'll scamper for a couple.
Where are those football scouts? Bring them in. Got a nice bit of footwork there from the fielder at third man. Got a lot of ground to cover. In fact, there was no third man. It was third man. Look at that. Good bit of footwork there.
Yeah, Amjad Gul doing well. He's a brilliant fielder. I've seen him take some absolutely ridiculous catches, circus catches in the outfield. Just hunted down that ball in time. This time drilled over the top of mid-off. That's a convincing shot from Salman Hashim. Boundary to conclude an eventful over. There you go.
Straight bat stuff. That's what you want to do early on. Don't play those cross shots. Don't play those horizontal bat shots. But play straight. Nice and straight. In the V for a boundary. 16 for 1, end of 2.
Abdul Malik continues his spell from the ICC Academy end. Oh, just squeezed onto the leg side by Sethuratnam. That will calm his nerves. That will settle the butterflies in the stomach, getting off not.
A left arm pace on display here tonight by the Gallion bowlers. Malik from this side and Saifullah Noor from the other. Saifullah had his trouble with the no balls, but his line and lengths were immaculate, even though he went for a couple of boundaries. But Malik will want to now make use of that early movement to try and prize out a wicket here.
Slip in place. Short ball hooked away. And just falling short of that deep fine leg that Mudassir Ali posted there. That plan almost came off.
Yeah, well executed. There was a good short ball to bowl. Had to take his face away from the ball there. Salman played it without much conviction. Luckily for him, it landed just short of the fielder there, which brings Sethuratnam Ramakrishnan on strike.
You just love saying his name, don't you? Very flowery, very really rolls off the tongue there.
It's a very Sri Lankan name.
Oh, absolutely. Nicely played, but straight to backward point. You would expect the Gallion Cricket Club, very seasoned players. Expect them to put up a better showing in the field. But they've had their problems with their bowling attack. They got 247 chased down against TVSL. Then Karwan Cricket Club hunted down 160 odd pretty easily. So they'll be looking for a convincing show. Big swish outside off. That's certainly within the tram lines, even though Sethuratnam is protesting.
Yeah, the batters have done the part. Now it's up to the bowlers to put on a convincing performance here. Like you said, they've not been at their best. It's their bowling that has let them down a couple of times now. Today they'll want to put in a dominant performance. They don't have the best of the teams they're facing. Yes, there are quite a few youngsters in this Footprint Defenders side. This is a good opportunity for them to establish their dominance.
Most certainly. Back of a length delivery just worked around the corner. Waiting for the umpire signal. Is it given as runs? Yes, it is. So Salman Hashim, he played a really good punch over mid-off in the previous over. He looks to be the aggressor in chief. And Shahzeb Alam, he'll be kicking himself. It was a really poor shot. Got sucked into playing across the line to a foolish delivery and got cleaned up by Saifullah. They would have needed him to get big runs tonight. Wasn't meant to be. Hit in the air, but just short of extra. Abdul Hafiz Afridi had a shy at the stumps. They have scampered for one. That was touch and go. Steady over from Malik comes to an end. Let's take a look here. How close was it?
A direct hit would have had him in all sorts of trouble. He was not even in the frame when the ball passed the stumps. So another good over by Malik. 3 overs done, 20 for 1.
Saifullah Noor around the wicket now. Oh, attempted Yorker. Did that hit the front pad? Waiting for the umpire signal. Yeah, it is leg bias. Perhaps just missing that leg stick. So he's looking to pitch the ball up. I think he will be in business against Setu Ratnam. Just needs to find his lines. Bowling good aggressive lengths. Slip in place as well. Amjad Gul. Oh, and he's crashed that over point. That's a beautiful shot from Setu Ratnam. It will roll down the slope for a boundary.
I was about to say this might be a good idea from Saifullah for coming around the wicket, because when he was coming over, he was struggling to find his lines and lengths. Now that he's come around, you can't be pitching it there though. That's too much width, too full, and any batter will take advantage of that. A boundary for Setu Ratnam, he'll feel good about that.
Well, it's another no ball from Saifullah Noor. He really is struggling. Free hit for Setu Ratnam. Oh, and he's followed him. He was aiming for his lid there. And Salman Hashim protesting to the umpire, but that was a perfectly legal delivery.
Yeah, nicely done. Good comeback ball. He's had his trouble with the no balls, but luckily for him, they haven't costed him too much, but he want to get that right.
That was really fizzing in, and Setu Ratnam had to take evasive action. Cracking delivery, one for the over. Well, at least he can presuppose now that the remaining deliveries will be pitched up.
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? When you bowl that short one early on, you're given one for the over, you lose that luxury early.
Bowled him right through the gate this time. Absolutely on the money. And Saifullah Noor gets his man.
Snaked in, didn't it, that delivery? Swing in the air, shaping inwards to him. You can't play that. Absolutely unplayable. What a delivery. Saifullah, he's had his troubles, but wherever he's got it right, he's got it really, really right. Another wicket goes down. Footbridge defenders are not having the best of nights. 26 for 2.
Shiraz Sarfraz, the captain, striding out at 4. Well, they need a big innings from him. At the very least, they need somebody who will take them across and bat the complete 20 overs. Saifullah Noor, he's been among the wickets, even though he's been ill-disciplined with that front foot strike.
That's been contrasting from the two bowlers. Abdul Malik, yes, hasn't bowled extras, hasn't bowled no balls, but he gets that away movement from the right-hander. Saifullah, on the other hand, yes, it has his troubles with his discipline, but whenever he's got it right, that shape inward to the right-hander has been very destructive, unplayable. Now, both his wickets have been very similar, full and swinging into the right-hander.
Oh, absolutely. Another slip in place and shouldering arms to that one. Look at that. Fizz off the surface, caught Safir Tariq by surprise.
Delight to watch. Left armour getting that shape inwards to the right-hander. He's bowled good lines and lengths here. He's bowled that one full delivery. Other than that, it's been really good stuff from him.
Just doing a bit of gardening there. The skipper for footprint defenders. He must be rowing that decision to bowl first. Very costly indeed. And Usman Khan was absolutely on fire tonight. The first double 100 of the Arabian Cricket League. Slightly wide and rightly given as an extra by Asif Iqbal.
Yeah, this is the 8th extra. 3 of them have been wides and 5 of them have been no balls. So Saifullah having his troubles with extras. Whenever he's got it right, they've been very good deliveries, but once in a while he makes that little mistake that has so far not costed him so much, but he'll have to be careful going deeper into this tournament. Can't afford to make elementary mistakes like that.
Yeah, that overs timeline looking like a box of M&Ms now. Swiped across the line. It's another no ball. And the deep fine leg will not rein it in. So a boundary, a no ball, a free hit. Very poor bowling from Saifullah, it has to be said. Agricultural hoik. But they'll certainly take it. They'll take whatever is on offer.
Confusing for a captain, isn't it? He's a bowler who's picking up wickets for you, but he's also being indisciplined with his no ball, front foot. He's giving away too many free hits. Again, they'll be a bit more relaxed here because they put up a big score. They know they've given them a lot to chase.
Here we go then. Another free hit. Hitting the splice of the bat. I'm looking at the umpire closely. Is this a legal delivery or not? Seems to be alright. At this rate, we might end up well into the twilight hours with the over rates.
Well, it's already been a long night for the footprint defenders. It's only going to get longer if these extras keep piling up.
Yeah, they certainly had a Halloween horror show in the form of Usman Khan. He is one scary looking batter indeed. 33 for 2. And make that 35, 36, 38, 5 wides. Very, very poor from Saifullah once again.
Well, extras are now officially the highest scorer in this innings. It's been given too many by Saifullah. No balls, wides, the whole lot of them. Yes, you've picked up 2 wickets. Yes, you are defending a huge score, but you still got to be disciplined.
Well, I feel for the captain Hafiz Kaleem here. He must be tearing his hair out. What are his new ball bowlers doing? Especially Saifullah Noor. Better delivery and a legal delivery. A lengthy over comes to an end. Abdul Malik into his 3rd over. Well, he's not been very disciplined, not had any issues with his front foot. Steady stuff from the academy end. Solidly behind that is the skipper.
He's not picked up a wicket here, but he's been very strict with his lines and lengths. Hasn't given too much room to the batter. It's been on that probing length that the batters have no choice but to present the full face of the bat and defend those.
Well, this man on screen, Abdul Hafiz Afridi, he'll be itching for a ball. Couldn't get going with the bat. But bowls very good. Fast medium, wicket to wicket. Swings it as well. Squeezed onto the leg side. He's just pulling that hard length, not being over exuberant and trying to swing the ball all over the place like Saifullah.
Yeah, that's the mistake that Footprints bowlers did in there early on. They were looking for that swing, spraying it all over the place. Usman Khan early on took good advantage of that. Lots of width on offer. Too many loose balls down the leg side. All of them were punished with some authority. But the bowlers of Gallion, they put on a much better show. Very good discipline. Except for those extras, they've been right on the money.
Short ball, cut away behind point. Deep third on the move. It's Israr Ahmed out there, if I recognized him properly. It's still been a pretty decent start. Current run rate just below 9. Of course, the required is already looking very ominous, 15.3. But for Footprint defenders, pardon me, they look alright with the bat. One can only imagine if they had chosen to bat first, how this match would have progressed.
It's a good short ball, well directed bouncer. Shiraz Sarfraz, the captain, going away from it, just ducking away from it. And they'll need to find a hero. Footprint defenders, they'll need one of those batters to put their hands up. Maybe they might not win this game given the current run rate, but they'll still want to show that they have something up their tanks. Someone who can play the long innings, bat those 20 overs, maybe get a good 70, 80.
Most certainly. Off the body, beyond the keeper, and that will trickle away for 4. Given as leg buys. The leaping keeper, Safir Tariq, just couldn't get there.
But if this can't score them off the bat, the bowlers are saying, right, we'll give you a few. Leg buys, no balls, wides.
Yeah, right off the middle of the thigh pad there. Unlucky there, Abdul Malik. But they all count. And I think Hafiz Kaleem certainly needs to have a word with his new ball attack. They need to pull up their socks. Straight to backward point this time. So still a pretty decent over from Abdul Malik. He's only conceded 12 runs in his 3 overs, 44 for 2. Well, 18 extras in 5 overs. That is very, very poor disciplines. Change in the bowling. We'll see Mudassir Ali, the left arm tweaker, coming into the attack. And coming into the commentary box attack alongside me, it's going to be Abid Ibrahim. Good evening, Abid.
Good evening, AZ. And an attack, a small word, when I witnessed that first knock, the first inning, Usman played a gem of a knock. Yeah, nice intent that trying to bowl full. I was talking about Usman. There you go. You can see him standing on the fine leg, relaxing, not having any much of a workload there. He's done his job for the day.
Well, we have some numbers to share with our viewers. Oh, just squeezed onto the leg side for 1. And the square leg fielder, that's a poor effort. The ball was straight to him. They still picked up a single. Well, there were 16 maximums in that innings for Gallion Cricket Club. And Usman Khan hit 15 of them, if you can believe it.
15 sixes, and I lost the count of the boundaries.
I had forgotten to count what comes after 15, 16, 17. The numbers were mind-boggling. Extra bounce there for Mudassir. This man on screen, number 7, absolutely destructive And tonight was his night. Meanwhile, Mudassir just conceding singles. Very watchful are the footprint pair in the middle. This time they open up, go over the top, and that will hit the side screen. One bounce, 4 runs.
Something for Shiraz Sarfaraz there. Went downtown, hit straight, and that was a good shot. The ball was slightly full.
Yeah, well executed shot with mid-off up. You just had to clear him. And there you can see Mudassir Ali. The towels are out early. They've been out right from ball 1 tonight. It's been a muggy evening here at the ICC Academy. Tough going for the bowlers. 49 for 2. Current run rate still looking pretty decent. Oh, it's a bottom edge. That fine sweep. Very well executed by the captain. 50 up for footprint defenders.
Yeah, they're going with a healthy current run rate, which is around 9. But the problem is they're asking. It's a bit too much. Swept it nicely. Playing with that very close to the body line. And again, Mudassir being too full there.
Yeah, he needs to flight the ball. Try to get it to turn. You're only bowling to the batter's strengths when you fire it in. They can use the pace against you. Meanwhile, a change in Willow for the captain. That one was not too bad, to be honest. It was working for him.
I'm not sure if that would be coming in the consideration of the match referee, that you middle of the over, you're changing your Willow. Oh, that is gone. Hammered over the mid-off. He can only watch the ball sailing over his head. Some fight, some intent here from Shiraz.
Well, the previous one was only getting him boundaries. This one, it works for him to get a maximum right over that long on. Into the schoolyard once again. Expensive over from Mudassir. Carted for 15 runs. 59 for 2. Abdul Malik taken off the attack as well, and it's going to be Amjad Gul. Well, we know about his batting ability. Bowls quickish leg spin as well. And it will resemble a very famous Pakistani all-rounder. I'm sure you've seen it before, Abid.
Yeah, with that same jersey number. Oh, that's out. A wicket there. Well, what really went wrong? It was going smooth for the team. And now the batter has to take a walk out. We need to see who it is.
Well, it's Salman Hashim. He was sent back by the skipper. He's very annoyed. And Safir Tariq whipped off the bails in a flash. Let's take a look. Punched out to that point fielder. And yes, no. And it was too late. Safir Tariq made no mistake. Unfortunate end to Salman Hashim's innings. 59 for 3. So it's the wicketkeeper Midhun Madhusudan coming in at number 5. I hope I got his name right. Please forgive me if I do not, Abid. I know you're very strict about these things. Meanwhile, Amjad Gul, he has produced a wicket via run out. Just when the partnership was looking decent between Salman Hashim and the captain. Shiraz. Now he'll be feeling the pinch. Upish! Just short of that wide extra cover fielder, Hafiz Kaleem himself there.
Well, you got it absolutely right. Let me tell you first. Yes, it is Midun. It is Amjad Gul, who's a hurl here, who bowls a lot of googlies.
Oh, trying to pull that away. Got big on him. There's already a deep mid wicket in place. Well, do they really need that fielder with the opposition 3 down? I'd like them to have a more attacking field. Bring that mid wicket in. Have a catching extra cover. A slip for Amjad Gul as well. Why not even a leg slip? Try to get him in wicket taking form. Cut away, beats the point fielder. And it'll only be 1 run though.
A big challenge for the bowlers to keep it at the right areas, because it is a lot due out there. And mind you, Amjad Gul is not a regular bowler. He bowls only as a part-timer. It will be a little bit of a harsh if you expect him to bowl that right areas.
Trying to slice that away, but this time the point fielder does well. Yeah, he is a part-timer, but so far so good. Only conceded a couple of runs. Bowling outside off.
Some turn as well.
This time it was the top spinner going into the batter. Dot ball to conclude. Steady over from Amjad Gul. 61 for 3 at the end of 7. Mudassir Ali continues. He certainly will need to bowl a lot better than his first over. Cut away behind point. Abdul Malik at the cover sweeper position. That's better. Bowl it slower in the air. Look for some turn.
Yeah, a lot better here. Mudassir now slightly pulling his length back. I think there is nothing wrong with bowling slower or quicker. It's about that where you land the ball. You're bowling too full, asking for trouble. Yeah, against Midun you can do it, but not against Shiraz Sarfraz. That will work.
Quicker one, and he's bowled him. That off stump has been rocked. It was the quick armour, and he was just too late on it.
Came in with the arm and took out the batsman. That was too close to cut. Really nothing short there. Before he realized that ball was drifting and coming hard. Yeah, the foot movement is nowhere. The bat is nowhere. It's 62 for 4.
New batter in is Santosh Roy. And well, now the wickets, pardon me, have fallen in a heap. First that tragic run out, and now Mudassir Ali getting into the act. Oh, extra bounce there. Was very late on that one, Santosh.
Well, that's the luxury when you go on for 15 runs in the very first over, and then still the captain believe in you. And when you come back and you deliver like these deliveries, unplayable.
Oh, that could have been a stumping, Safir Tariq. Usually a very safe keeper. I think he's missed a chance there.
Yeah, from the body language it says that he's let the opportunity go down. Oh yes, the foot was in the air. He was going nowhere, and Safir realizing that immediately he missed a chance there.
I think it just hit him on the wrist there, the ball. Good fielding by Amjad Gul at point. Very, very good fielder. We've seen him take quite a few stunners in the outfield, Abid.
Yeah, one of those Marvel characters.
Absolutely. Flying all over the place. Oh, this is a good delivery from Mudassir. He's really teasing Santosh out there, mixing it up beautifully.
It seems to be the idea is very clear for the team FPD. That to play 20 overs. That's what they are aiming at.
Oh, could be a cotton ball. Just dropped in front of Mudassir. A much better over this time. Got a wicket to his name as well. 63 for 4. Amjad Gul continues. Hit hard down the ground. Long on. Will not cut it off. Ahsan Shah. Good effort. Well, has he cut it off? We'll have to take a look at the replay. I think it's hit the backboard and come back. Or has he got the foot down? Let's take a look.
Well, I think it would be the last man, him, he want to say, oh no, that.
Oh, he did stop it. Well done. Cristiano Ahsan Shah. Wonderful feat.
Yeah, you can rub it a little bit.
Saved a certain boundary. That one just kept a touch low there. Amjad Gul putting some revs on the ball.
Really, and then one more thing that I've noticed that Amjad Gul is quick into his spell, just like the jersey number 10 represented Pakistan. Shahid Khan Afridi, that I was talking to Samir earlier about his famous knock. The first inning that he played, and he scored 100 runs of 37 balls, but I think he was not entrusted in that conversation.
Yeah, it was against his beloved Sri Lanka in Nairobi way back in 1996. Really captured the headlines and the imagination. Drilled down the ground. Ahsan Shah will be tested, and he does pass with flying colours once again. Good fielder, good all-rounder to have in your side.
Well, just to add some sweet tone to that conversation, it was Samir Cup in 1996 when Shahid Afridi came to bat for the first time.
Drifter onto the pads. Yes, absolutely. And absolutely tailor-made for T20 cricket. He was about a decade too early before his time, but still won Pakistan a World Cup. Was man of the tournament in 2007 as well. What a performer. What a superstar he was.
And I think him and Sanat Jayasuriya changed the game of 50 overs. We'll come back on to that. It's meantime 9 gone, 67 for 4.
Mudassir Ali into his third over. Oh, just using his bottom hand to whip that, Santosh Roy. Very wristy. And of course, we were talking about game changers in white ball cricket. In our childhood, the likes of Shahid Khan Afridi, Sanat Jayasuriya, Michael Bevan was another player. He created that finisher's role. in ODI cricket. Now it's part of the jargon. Oh, this has been lofted over cow corner and into the grass banks for a mighty 6.
Well, it was 6 written on it the moment it left the bat. That was a big shot, nicely coming onto the bat. Shiraz Sarfraz is still fighting for the runs.
Powerful blow there. And that went a mighty distance. So once again something for Mudassir Ali to think about. He has to look to turn the ball, don't just float it up there. Drilled through wide-ish, mid-off this time. And it will hit the fence once again. Good counter-attack here.
Yeah, I just picked up the gap. It's 10 of 2. And you'll need plenty of more. Plenty of those more coming.
No chance for the long off or extra cover. Nicely placed. 34 of 19 for the skipper now. He's playing a very handy innings. Oh, that was a full toss. Just bounced off his hands onto the lip. That's gonna swell up.
Oh, have a look at from this angle. Oh, that's a nasty, nasty one.
Yeah, don't go to take your passport photo anytime soon, Mudassir. You're gonna have a fat lip when you're done by the end of this game. But he looks to be alright, good to bowl. 1 for 28 on the day. It's been slightly expensive.
Yeah, I can see all the teeth are intact.
Those are the most important. You only have 32 of them. Quicker one. The same one he used to get Mridun out. So they're still on par for at least a 150-160 score.
Not a bad still.
Played off the back foot. Nicely behind that is the skipper. 78 for 4 at the halfway stage of the innings.
Coming in as another leggy. Amjad Gul seems to be continuing here. He's bowled really well. Very economical. Didn't get a wicket though. But bowled 2 overs, given only 6 runs. So while we were in a very interesting chat with AZ earlier, we're talking about the greats of the game changers. Joining me in the comm box is Samir Yunus to continue that conversation. Welcome, Samir.
Hi Abid, it's been a fun evening, some good batting on display, and now it's the bowling of the Gallions that's really keeping things quiet for footprint defenders. Well, you mentioned Sanat Jayasuriya, and my Sri Lankan bias can't look beyond that. If you think of our childhood, yes, it was those names, the Sanats, the Afridis. Nicely bowled, nice and straight. Good control Amjad is showing here, despite being a leg spinner. Bowling with a wet ball, never easy. Always hard to grip in these dewy conditions. The names of Gilchrist, Ricky Ponting, those are the names that we grew up with. Star class batters. But a bit more later, in the recent years, there are guys like Sangha, Michael Clark. Those are the names that you keep getting reminded of. This is a good over from Amjad. He's keeping the captain quiet. Shiraz decided to go downtown a while ago, took it upon himself to try and get this total somewhere for the footprint defenders, but he's been kept quiet by some very disciplined bowling from Amjad Gul. Leg spin has never been easy. And speaking of great leg spinners, can you look past someone like Shane Warne? There's a statue of him in Sydney now.
Yeah, undoubtedly a great loss to cricketing world. He's also one who put his impact and changed the game for the leg spinner to bowl the bowl of the century. What a great bowler he was. It was a perfect era when we have seen 2 greats playing together. For their own countries, yes, Mutaya Muralidharan with the off spin, and for Australia it was Shane Warne.
It was constantly a debate, wasn't it? The best spinner of the era, was it Murali or Warne?
And I was never interested to take part on that conversation because those were two different kind of bowlers.
Yes, you can't compare two legends like that. 11 overs done, 80 for 4.
Rehan Shah, who started really well. It's the right area. Not an easy to do that when there is a lot of dew there. The towels are out.
The spinners have shown immaculate control here for the Gallions. Fast bowlers, yes, they had some issues with their extras and the landing, no balls and stuff like that, but the spinners here really come good. That has been pulled away. There is protection down there, so just be a single.
Yeah, the way Shiraz Sarfraz is going, he can't win you the game, but there is a lot to take a positive out of this inning. This might help you in the next game that your bat is talking, you're making some runs. Definitely. This knock would be very much needed here.
Always useful to spend time in the middle. It's not; these are very busy cricketers, mind you. Probably have a full-time job as well, so no real time to hit the nets and get that practice. So these are the kind of matches you think, right, game has slipped away from us. Let's try and spend as much time as possible in the middle. Get that hand-eye coordination going, get into rhythm.
Now, more importantly, you need to play 20 overs so that you can control the damage. And over here, we've seen a quite bit of a time where the batter tries to hit it straight to the bowler, and the bowler could not be able to grip the ball, hold it back. That's outside edge, straight to the fielder. A wicket, and that to a wicket of Shiraz Sarfraz, a big one.
That's what dot ball pressure can do to you. You saw the two spinners, Amjad from the other end, and now Rehan stitching together a few dot balls, keeping things quiet, almost forcing Shiraz to go for that big shot. He couldn't hang out for too longer. Sees one outside the off stump, full and wide, goes at it, goes hard at it, but he gets the top edge. The fielder, third man, takes up another easy catch. The fielding has been good today. The catching has been good today from Gallion. The difficult night for footprint defenders continue. They lose half their side. 5 wickets gone. It's 82.
Well, a different feet here. Joining at the center. A son joins father. A very rare sight. You see the son and father play together.
Well, the father won't be asking the son to go to bed even though it's midnight. 82 for 5.
bowl the final over. Amjad Gul. Oh, that's been put away by Senior Rao. They'll take single only. Oh, I reckon they took one. Well, Amjad has been really quick through his bowling, and he's bowled 3 overs, given only 9 runs. At this conditions, at this outfield where the heavy dew there. Oh, I think there is something wrong with me. The moment I start commenting or praising a bowler, he goes wrong. The commentator's curse is a thing. Let me tell you, Samir.
Yeah, it keeps proving to be real, doesn't it? The moment you praise someone, they end up doing the wrong thing. But you're right, this has been a good performance by the spinners. It's not much intent from the batters. I mean, they haven't had any other choice. They know they've been battered out of this game in that first innings, but still it requires some discipline. They haven't been complacent, the bowlers, by any means, even though they're defending that big score. They haven't taken it easy. They bowled very good deliveries. And Footprint needed that. In fact, Gallion needed that. They've been weak with their bowling. That's what has lost games for them. But the way they've gone around here, their captain Hafiz Karim will be very happy.
Especially when you get this kind of a performance from the part-timers. Who would say that Amjad Gul is a part-timer?
Required rate is 26.45, and Ayush Rao is leaving the ball.
Well, definitely the plan is very simple. Both the Raos really want to stick around and play the 20 overs. They don't want to lose any more wickets. That seems to be the plan.
And they'll go home and tell the family, we batted together and didn't get out.
Yeah,
Not that the result matters.
Yeah, probably will continue batting tomorrow as well. I wish if it was a test game. I imagine just convert this game into the test match. Father and son batting together, and look at the junior comes in and says to the senior that, hey, look, mate, we need to dig in and we need to play and put a big partnership. So meantime, 13 gone, 85 for 5.
It's been in operation again. Rehan bowled a good first over, picked up a wicket, that of the captain, Shiraz Sarfaraz, who was looking good. Well, this is such a rare sight, this. We keep talking about father and son pair batting together. I don't think it has ever happened in international cricket. I mean, there's very few opportunities for that to happen, for such a senior man and a young man to be batting together. But I recently saw Shinarayan Chandapal, a fine batter for West Indies.
Oh, class.
He was playing alongside his son, both of them were batting together in a domestic game in the West Indies. What about you? Have you seen anything like this?
Well, yes, obviously I've been a part of a big game that taken place in Sharjah, where we've seen father and son batting together. It was Muhammad Nabi and Hassan Isa Khail Nabi. They batted together, and that video again went viral when it was a Father's Day.
Oh, that's one way of celebrating Father's Day, isn't it? Batting alongside your father. What a fine cricketer Muhammad Nabi is. He's been a real serviceman for his country, Afghanistan. Brought them to a very high level of cricket. Been a big journey for Afghanistanis. They love their cricket for sure.
Yeah, and they need to be ready for tomorrow.
Yeah, big game coming up for us Sri Lankans. We've not had the best of times the last 2 games. We've lost them against the 2 finalists of the T20 World Cup. So that's what I'm taking solace in by telling myself that. But tomorrow, we deserve a more comprehensive performance. Everyone's watching. The whole island is watching. That's being cut away. They will go for a quick single. In fact, there's a field in the deep, so it's just be a single. Required run rate now 30.65. Wow, very rarely do you see that. 89 for 5.
Indeed. Just a push, firm push. They'll take only single. And Ayush will keep the strike, and that will bring the over to an end. 14 gone, 90 for 5. Israr Ahmed, the new bowler. Banking it short. A chance of a run out that might be. The throw was wavered.
I remember playing Division 3 games back home, and whenever we are in a commanding position like this, everybody wants to have a ball. All 11 of them. Captain, let me roll my arm over, please. Maybe just pick up a wicket, get those career figures going. Israr Ahmed here, turning his arm over. Well, that's been nicely hit. Will it be cut off though? Again, a bit of footwork. We've seen quite a bit of it today. Fielders choosing to take the easy method of stopping the ball rather than bending and stopping with their hands.
And also, you don't see a fast bowler bending down really. It's Saifullah Noor, a perfect example of a fast bowler who really does not like to bend or put a hard yard in the field. Oh, that kept a little low. It's surprising that there is a low bounce as well in the surface.
I was talking about how difficult it is to bowl in these conditions, lots of dew, and the spinners have done a fantastic job. We saw a good example of this in the recently concluded Asia Cup. It's nicely pulled, another single. And I know you guys always wonder why I keep bringing up the Asia Cup, because Sri Lanka were the champions of it. But we saw a lot of that, wasn't it? The dew played a big factor, there's no denying of that. Sometimes you might think that it's unfair that the toss decides the game, but it's still a different challenge, and you have to be ready to take that up when you come to venues like this, especially in these regions.
I just glided towards the third. The third is up and they'll run for 2. Well, I knew what you will bring that up, Samir. You always look smiling while you're talking about Asia Cup. They will run for the third. The overthrows will help them. And the fielders are at least bothered about it. But what the interesting part was about that finals, that it was a change in result. That when it came to the chase, well, we thought for a moment that would be easy to chase, but no, that was not the case.
Yeah, there's a bit of criticism there. That's been pulled away. That might just be in the gap. A rare boundary coming up. Yes, it is. Santosh Roy, the father, says, Ayush, look better. This is how you score a boundary. 15 overs done, 101 for 5. $101 for 5, the footprint defenders. Nowhere close to that target of 278, just regulation here now. Going through the formalities of finishing this innings. It's the last 5 overs. It's been spinners in operation for Gallion, who want to finish things off very quickly here. They've bowled well, the spinners, kept things tight. Santosh and Ayush are the 2 batters. Again, that nice drifting line. Rehan has bowled really well on that off-stump line. And in operation in the comm box, joining me now is Ahmed Khaja.
Thank you very much, Samir. Once again, hit hard, hit straight. And the mid-on, he's made a hash of it. Another boundary.
Yeah, the father and son now having a bit of fun together. They'll go back home and think about these shots with a smile on their face. I know that the game is well beyond them. Might as well have some fun, spend some time in the middle, make some memories of batting together. That's another boundary. So 2 boundaries, round 1 in the last ball of the last over, and here 1 for Rehan. You can see those towels coming out very regularly now. Difficult conditions to bowl in, these are.
Yeah, interesting bowler, this Rehan Shah. Bit of a mystery bowler, so to speak. We're seeing a lot of that in white ball cricket. Of course, finger spin has almost disappeared. Oh, inside edge. Ayush trying to force this through the offside. And everybody has had to develop some kind of variation, some kind of extra deliveries like the carom ball, the top spinner, the back of the hander. We are seeing Sikandar Raza having so much success with that in the World Cup. Once again, hit hard, hit straight. Only going to be 1.
The interesting thing is, we were just having a chat about the spinning greats of yesteryear, Shane Warne and Muralidharan, and the reason they picked up a lot of those buckets of wickets was because of the amount of turn they used to get. The ball used to turn a mile almost. These spinners, they don't turn it much, but it's those little angles and variations that brings them their success.
Well, the late great Shane Warne and of course Muttaya Muralidharan, pardon me, they could turn the ball on a pane of glass. Meanwhile, 107 for 5 with 4 overs to go in the match.
Israr will continue. He's given away 11 in his first over. Santosh clearly struggling on that offside. Whenever the ball's been just on that fourth stump line, he looks to guide it down to third man, but more often than not misses out. Oh, what was that? That went the other way. Israr Rahmat with a few tricks up his sleeve.
I think that might have been the knuckleball or something out of the front of the hand, pushed through and just held its line. Surprised the wicketkeeper as well. Very interesting delivery from Israr, mixing it up nicely.
Yeah, on that subject of spinners not turning the ball as much as they used to before, that's what's made it difficult for the batters, hasn't it? Oh, looks for that big heave, Ayush. In fact, Santosh. In fact, that is Ayush on strike.
Yeah, he does look like a replica of his dad.
Chip of the old block, as they say.
Absolutely, in more ways than one. 13 of 17 for the young lad. Outside edge. That's beaten the keeper. It was the quicker one. And it will roll away for 4 to the third man boundary.
There was a repeat of that delivery he bowled earlier, the one that goes away from the right-hander. In fact, it's been signalled byes by the umpire. Missed everything. Oh, that's a nice looking delivery. Israr will make a case for himself now. Tell his captain, look, I've got these variations. You might want to try me in most of the games that we're going to play after this.
Yeah, not going to be added as runs to Ayush's tally. And this game pretty much looks done and dusted here. Just the final rites being administered. And he's looked pretty organized at the crease. Plays with a straight bat to the merit of the ball. So a very decent prospect for footprint defenders. Certainly has a big future ahead of him, Ayush.
Last ball of this over, 17th. Who looked to step forward, but at the last moment realized it's a good ball to sweep, and he gets to do that for just a single. 17 done, 3 more to go. 164 required of 18. Looks like Rehan has enjoyed his bowling here. He'll bowl out. Oh, that famous slog sweep towards the end of the innings, and that will go to the boundary.
Expertly placed by Santosh Roy. Just picked the ball up on its length and dragged it through that wideish mid-wicket region. No chance for the long on. Nicely executed.
Yeah, the fielders won't try too hard. They know they've won this game. It's pointless going after that and risking injury. It's a very wet ground, mind you. That's nicely cut away. I feel that point should be able to cut it off. Will they go for a 2? Yes, the son wants it. The father also wants it. And they will cross over for a double.
Yeah, they're both very dogged, solid middle order players. Run hard between the wickets. Use the angles. Very good against spin. It is quite remarkable how he's exactly replicating his dad. Wonderful to watch.
Let's hear you do this, Ahmed. I mean, it's 158 from 16. Take away 100 runs from that. In fact, if I get 58, I'll make it 48 of 16. If you were to choose 2 active cricketers to be out there trying to get over this line, who would your choices be?
Well, I'll pick 2 guys that I've seen in the PSL. One of them played for my beloved Lahore Qalandars, Tim David and Liam Livingstone. I absolutely love those 2 gentlemen. Big hitters of the ball. Oh, this has been sliced towards backward point, and well, the commentator's curse has struck. Ayush, he was playing so well. Just a rush of blood there and a simple catch. Rehan Shah gets his second.
Yeah, flighted that one. Outside the off stump. The moment he saw it, he had to go for it. Got very tempted as soon as he saw that. But all he got was a slice of the bat. Another catch goes down to third man. So Ayush Rao, the father and son partnership breaks. Rehan picks up another one. It's 121 for 6. Rehan will look to pick up another one here, make those figures look nice. He can go back home and smile about it. 2 for 20, last ball coming up in his quarter of 4 overs. He's bowled well here tonight. Oh, looking for that slug straight down at the field at long on. So he'll get off the mark, Mushtaq. 18 done, 2 overs to go. Formalities to complete here, 122 for 6. Israr Ahmed will finish his. In fact, he's got one more to go. Will that be taken? Yes, it is. So he gets among the wicket tally.
Well, Mushtaq Ali will be disappointed. Mid-off was up. He had full opportunity to clear him and pick up a boundary. Instead, he just towed it. And Israr has got his first wicket of the night. And Amjad Gul, well, he's not going to drop those, is he? Safe as houses is he. He is 122 for 7. So is the lanky Zain Raza coming in at 9. Oh, trying to work that behind point. He's getting a bit of extra bounce there, Israr.
Yeah, how well have the spinners bowled tonight? They have had the pleasure, the cushion of a 278 target, but still, it's been good lines and lengths. Will there be another wicket? No. The point is quite deep there, so the ball will go to him on a couple of bounces. So Zain will get off the mark.
They have a pretty balanced bowling attack. 3-4 genuine seam bowling options. Saifullah Noor, Abdul Malik, Abdul Hafiz Afridi is there as well. Ahsan Shah, we didn't see him tonight, but he's a good seam bowler. And then you have the likes of Israr, Amjad Gul, Rehan Shah, Mudassir Ali. Outside edge, putting pace on the ball, and then, well, he's had to pay the price.
Well, Santosh Rao hasn't given up. He still wants to get those runs, get those numbers up a bit, at least for his own sake. It's a nice little helicopter shot attempted, although it got the outside edge. Bat taking a full swing in the air.
Yeah, it's still going to be a massive victory for Gallion Cricket Club. That will really boost their net run rate and put them in a pretty strong position. We have 16 teams in the tournament, 2 groups of 8. And only the top 2 of each goes into the semi-finals. Another outside edge and another boundary for Santosh Roy. He rolls into the 30s.
Well, if Usman Khan in the evening was hammering them behind the bowler, Santosh Rao is hammering them behind the keeper. It's been an evening of 2 ends.
Yeah, just spoiling Israr's figures there. That is poor bowling, it has to be said. Bowling much too wide of off. Chipped into mid-wicket. They're going to push for 2 here. No, Santosh will keep the strike for the final over of the game. 132 for 7. Ahsan Shah to bowl the final over of the game. Usually a frontline seamer, but he seems to be bowling a bit of spin, finger spin here. Big sweep shot towards mid-wicket, and it beats the sweeper fielder for 4.
Yeah, Santosh won't mind a bit of that. A fast bowler bowling spin, trying new things, and Santosh will say, well, it's a good opportunity for me to try and rack up some runs, and that's exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, he's not given up the ghost, has he? Well-timed shot. He's a solid middle order player. Made runs in the first game as well. Oh, this has been top edged. Is there anybody there? No. Just gonna drop in that empty mid-wicket region. So Ahsan Shah didn't really hear after the ball. There could have been a cotton bowl opportunity.
Will they go past the halfway mark? Footprint defenders. That's nicely hit on the offside, and there is no fielder there. There should be a boundary unless the fielder can rein it in. Yes, it just stops halfway, doesn't it?
Yeah, a bit of a half hit there from Zain. And they will pick up 3 runs. Eventually got there. I thought he might be in trouble. So that'll give him a bit of a confidence boost as well. Runs and wickets. 1 run short. Well, you need to subtract that from Zain's score then. Outside edge, over the keeper, over the first slip. And Santosh has been peppering that region for 4.
Yeah, well, it's getting a lot of outside edges today. That edge of his bat is going to get real thick tonight. He's got a few 4s now behind the keeper. He won't mind though. The runs keep coming for him. Ahsan looking to bowl spin instead of his usual seam. He says, love Santosh to get to a 42. He's quietly gone on to a good 40 for himself. This time he steps forward. It's gone right up in the air. Will the fielder get underneath it? Oh, that's a valiant attempt. Amjad Guldia once again. The ball's followed him this evening. He's generally a good keeper, good fielder. This time, just evades him that ball. Okay then, last ball of this game coming up. And quite fittingly, Santosh looking for that big slog sweep, gets bowled off the bowling of Ahsan Shah, who picks up a wicket. So a massive, massive victory for Gallion Cricket Club. They win by 131 runs. That's a huge victory margin. and we've enjoyed a superb batting display by this team tonight.
Well, the fatal mistake was done at the toss itself. It was footprint defenders who won the toss, elected to bowl first, and then Usman Khan decided to have the innings of his life. 213 not out of just 85 deliveries. They posted a massive target of 278, and try as they might, they just couldn't get close to it. The top order failed to get any runs. Saifullah Noor bowled beautifully. It was only Shiraz Sarfraz, the skipper, getting 36 of 29, and Santosh Roy 44 of 34, who offered some brief resistance. 25 extras. Hafiz Kaleem, the captain of Gallion, will certainly be slightly miffed about that. They need to work on their fielding and bowling disciplines.
That is a cause of concern, that many extras, but the bowling otherwise has been on point. Saifullah had his troubles with the no balls and free hits, still picked up 2 wickets, really set the tone for this bowling. And then it was the spinners who came in and really economical. Look at that, 2.75 from Amjad Gul, just gave 11 runs in his 4 overs, 14 dot balls. Then Rehan Shah, Israr Ahmed, all 3 spinners really coming into the party. Mudassir Ali also, left armour, just 28 of his 3 overs. In the context of the game, these are very good returns. And wickets kept falling for the footprint defenders. They never really got going, which allows Gallion Cricket Club a massive victory by 131 runs.
Did a wonderful job indeed. And that is the match summary for you. Gallion Cricket Club posting a mighty 277 for 2. And there is the star of the show, Usman Khan, 213 not out of 85. Safir Tariq also offering able support, 47 of 24. And in reply, footprint defenders could only manage 146 in their allotted 20 overs. Santosh Roy with 44 and Shiraz Sarfraz with 36. Rehan Shah and Saifullah Noor with 2 wickets each for Gallion Cricket Club, as they won by a healthy 131 runs. Well, we have a 2-day break, but we're back on Thursday night for a massive game. 7 districts taking on Dubai Gymkhana. So we'll be live right here from the ICC Academy Oval Ground number 2 at the ICC Academy. That's all from the commentators box for now. Now we go over to Abid Ibrahim, who's there with the player of the match for the post-match award ceremony. We'll see you on Thursday evening. Good night.
Hello. Nice, Lela.